Hey, Nikki. Hey, Cooper Cooper. Hey, Michelle Banks. Hey, Lawrence.
Sorry, I did
Hey,
not
Tyree. Well, I gotta pin something real quick. Hey, Naomi. Hey, Miss Bisbee. Hey, Big Baby Pradell. What up, EJ? We going live in a few minutes. Hell. Okay, check it. Make sure. Okay. Okay, check it. Thank y'all for joining me today. If you look at the top of the chat box, you'll see a blue highlighted box. Don't forget that you can hit DanaJay tip jar at the https:// streamelements.com/DanaJay. And you can hit that link for the tip jar and you can tip anything you want. Anything from $1 on up to $99,000. Also, don't forget the Cash App if you want to support the channel at $official DanaJay, Jay. That's a Cash App. Don't forget also at the bottom of the screen, and you can also hit the super chat. And DanaJay is very much thankful for everything and anything that anybody does. All right, let's get into it. Tone G, what's going on? Let's get into why we here. Okay? So we're going to do it like this. Shooter, you shot me in the heart, and I've been dying since we've been apart. Oh, shooter, I don't think I'm gonna make it. See, I'm just as good as dead. I'm good as dead. Whoa, bullseye. Girl, you shot me down to my knees, yeah. Since you took your love from me, and I'm holding on to the hopes that you will return. Although I feel I've lost you forever, I will believe that you still love me. Girl, say you do, say you do, say you do, say you do. Yo, I'm live, bro. Say you still love me, shooter, yeah. You shot me in the heart, oh yeah. And I've been dying since we've been apart. Oh, 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 shooter, shooter. I don't think I'm gonna make it. No, and I'm just as good as dead. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See, I neglected the fact that your love was precious, and I should have took more better care of it. And now every minute you're gone, girl, I sit here just dying alone. And I wish that I could have dodged that bullet of you leaving me. Shooter, shooter, you shot me in the heart. My shawty, my love, my shawty, she got the ball, she got the chain, she got the wall. Pick me up, 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 pick me up. Pick me up, pick me up, pick me up, got the wall. Pick me up, pick me up, pick me up. And I've been dying since we've been apart, yeah. Oh, shooter, no, no. Oh, I don't think that I'm gonna make it. No, no, no. And I'm just as good as yeah. Oh, shooter. You shot me in the heart. And I've been dying since we've been apart. Yeah. Shooter, 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 shooter. See, I just don't think that I'm gonna make it without you, babe. I gotta go. I don't wanna go, but I got to go. First, I want to say thank you so much Naomi for the contribution to the channel. EJ, I'm good. You said, how you holding up, Dana Dane? Because last night was super ugly to listen to all that. Yeah, it was super ugly to read it. I'm drained, but I'm gonna push through this today. How y'all doing? Hey, Miss Shirley. Hello, everybody's here. Hello, Dream Team. Hey, Miss Bisbee. I'm gonna try not to be, but we got some work to do. So with the work that need to be done, let's get into it. Last night I left off at page 31. But for the people who wasn't up last night, I'm gonna take you back to a time that I was trying to explain to y'all. And we're gonna start with this page. Hey T0307, hey mama. Nikki M, hey. I'm gonna start with this page. I got plenty of water today. I got some fruit. I'm gonna push through this. It's gonna be hard to sit in trial and listen to them count this off. That's why I'm praying that a lot of this stuff get broken down and thrown out, because a lot of these charges are from Chicago, not from New York. So hey, so a jurisdictional challenge is more than applicable. So let's go here. M, threats towards Jane Doe number 6 and others. And know about the fall of 2018, continuing through January 2020, Kelly and other members of the enterprise, including Donnell Russell, Russell's mother, and an individual working on Kelly's behalf, used coercive tactics to attempt to convince Jane Doe number 6 to abandon a civil lawsuit she had filed against Kelly and to stop speaking publicly about Kelly. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to break this down as I go. Like I told everybody, that's all Greenberg had to do, is prove that Robert ain't have no god daggone connections with this situation. But no, he chose to go to YouTube, and he chose to go to YouTube on Court TV. Then he chose to go to Twitter and say, Robert don't know these people. Okay, why didn't you tell them that in emotion? Why didn't you break that down in emotion? The reason why is, I believe it's coming up after this, but I'm going to say it here, because you was part of the setup of Robert Kelly from day one. A lot of people going to say, oh, no, not Greenberg. Yes, Greenberg. Let's break this down. They did so by conveying to Jane Doe number 6 that they had maintained compromising photographs of her, which could be released at any time, and then releasing certain such photographs publicly via a Facebook page called Surviving Lives. I'm gonna stop there for a second. I'm glad Cash gave me the heads up, because when Cash gave me the heads up, when Cash Jones gave me the heads up, I changed my page from Surviving Lives. Hey, okay. Thank you so much, Georgia girl. I changed my page and I left Surviving Lives alone. If I wouldn't have, I would have been in emotion, but I'm not, because I listened when people gave me heads up on who was doing what. I don't want to be connected. I'm not connected to none of these people that's doing hurtful things. And no matter what lies come out, this is the truth. This is the document. So here it is. And during interviews, Russell conducted on YouTube. I told y'all about that. The other YouTubes he conducted was one with Phases the Next Level, one with Texas Black Diamond, and one with Nick at Night. Not all in that order, but the order was Nick at Night, Hollywood Next, Blockbender, Phases the Next Level, Kevin Terrell, Daboski, and then he ran to Texas Black Diamond, and he found a home at Texas Black Diamond, so he stayed there. And if Daboski will tell you, he'll tell you. I mean, he said it on numerous times. I begged him not to have Don on there, and I'm glad they didn't use that, because then he would have been in here. It's a reason when I say, or I go to people and I be like, yo, don't do this, please, whatever. So specifically, following the filing of a civil lawsuit on behalf of Jane Doe number 6 against Kelly, in November 2018, the lawyer who filed the lawsuit for Jane Doe number 6 received a typewritten letter signed by who? Kelly. I have proved to everybody that Robert do not or did not know about this, and he never signed this thing. Furthermore, he do not know about but he do not know about secured party creditor writings or secured party creditor knowledge. Robert don't know nothing about that. Only Don Russell know. And see, and let's go down a little bit. Don Russell's mother know a little bit because she be on YouTube looking at different things. If you don't study, if you don't practice, you can't understand and the full lingo of us private people. So let's go here and close with the letter where portions of civil complaint filed on behalf of Jane Doe number 6 with the following stamp affixed. I do not accept this offer to contract. I do not consent to these proceedings. With Kelly's handwritten signature and a state of Illinois notary stamp and signature for Russell's mother, an individual whose identity is known to the government, and 2 pieces of paper that contain images and typewritten text. Let's stop there. How did they know that Don Russell's mother was Drew Barrett? Easy. Sylvia. Sylvia cracked the code about the whole thing when she contacted and the state representative of Illinois, and then she went and she was supposed to have gave it to me, but she wanted to overshadow me. She wanted to outdo me, so she went and gave it to the lawyers. Randa, the one that found a video on Texas Black Diamond. So instead of giving it to me, they gave it to the lawyers because they wanted to overshine and outdo me. Well, with that, I find it funny because now they run into Don Russell's aid because that's where a majority of the people at, and because they all hate me, that's what they're doing. But at the end of the day, you help solidify Don Russell and his mother in the paperwork, which I was told that Don Russell's mother should be picked up any day. So let's go here. Among the images were text messages exchanges between Kelly and Jane Doe number 6, as well as photographs of Jane Doe number 6 that were apparently cropped to not disclose certain body parts, but which nonetheless included portions of Jane Doe number 6 exposed buttocks and breasts. Now check it. Here we go. On or about August 13, 2020, Donald Russell was arraigned on a complaint charging him with stalking of Jane Doe number 6 and an immediate family member of Jane Doe number 6, which was her mother, Miss Rogers, in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2261 A2B. For this conduct, on October the 8th, 2020, a grand jury in the Eastern District of New York returned an indictment charging Russell with the same offense. So how is that helping Robert? People talking about Don Russell helped Robert. How? Once again, I want to thank Naomi for the contribution to the channel. I thank you so much. But how is this helping Robert? Not Naomi, but if Don Russell is doing things to hurt Robert, how's it helping Robert? Not only that, it's going to show y'all in this text or in this indictment how he snitched on Robert and lied on Robert. So let's go there. Beneath the photographs was text including, I assure you this would not be considered a Sunday go-to meeting dress. The next 2 pictures have been cropped for the sake of not exposing her extremities to the world yet. As described further below in recorded statements live streamed over YouTube in late January 2019, Donnell Russell stated that he wrote the commentary and accompanied the photographs, that Kelly had signed the letter, and that he had participated in sending these documents to the lawyer that was on Nick at Nights. Notably, a judicially authorized search of Kelly's Apple iPhone, seized at the time of his federal arrest, revealed that on the morning of October 26, 2018, Kelly sent the photographs to Jane Doe number 6. Kelly sent the photographs of Jane Doe number 6 and text messages exchanged between Jane Doe number 6 and Kelly that were included in the November 2008 mailing to Darnell Russell's mother. How many times have I told y'all? I gave y'all the same date, the morning of October the 26th. That's when everybody went to go work out at the gym. Darnell Russell grabbed Robert's phone. He took some pictures out of there with his phone. I told Robert. Robert snapped on him. How many times have I told y'all that story? But here it is again. But now they saying Robert sent it to Darnell Russell's mother. How don't we know that Don didn't send messages from Robert's phone while Robert was hooping to his mother? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the reply, it don't make sense. So here we go. We're included in November 2008. Hold on. Thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate it. I got it. Thank you so much. Hold on, y'all. I appreciate you, Denise. All right. So I needed that text too. All right. So it says we're included in the November 2018 mailing to Darnell Russell's mother via MMS messages. That's multimedia services messages. That's what MMS stands for. Multimedia services messages. Later that day, Russell's mother sent a text message to Kelly that said, question, do you have a way of sending me one more picture showing her phone number at the top? I'm going to print it and include it along with the other 3 and include them in the letter to her attorney. Do you agree that she should really know her client? And then she put the emoji right there. So that means at that time, Faith was represented by not just a man lawyer, that Gloria Allred. But listen to the reply. Kelly thereafter responded with a text message stating, "Enter alia." Everybody know he don't do that. And then it says, "I'm going to get you more." Everybody know that Robert do not talk that way. That's all. I mean, if Robert sent the text messages, why would he have to say, "I'm going to get you more"? Robert's response could have been, "All right, cool." You know what I'm saying? Or it could have been, "Check your text messages." You know what I'm saying? The reply is off. Hold on, y'all. Let me send this one text out. Hold on. The reply is completely off. So when people tell me that Don Russell was helping Robert, and I've been breaking this shit down for the longest, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that Don Russell had been helping Robert, because he haven't. He's been hurting him the whole time. Why? Because once again, who have the most to gain if Robert never come home? And I've been telling y'all this. If Robert never come home or if Robert passes away, who have the most to gain? Don Russell. Why? Because he can control his mama. And his mama can do fucked up shit with Robert's stuff. I've been telling y'all this. But no, Dana's the liar. Dana's the mole. Dana's this. Dana's that. Doug don't talk to Dana. Dana's this. Dana's that. The whole time, Dana was the one breaking up all this bullcrap. Now y'all understand why Don wanted me out the way so bad. He couldn't come out and say it because it would have made him look bad. But now I put him in a box. Every time I show up, he know I'm coming with questions that he can't answer on the air because all of y'all will look suspect at him. See what I'm saying? All of y'all will look suspect at him. Let's see. Tale of love. If it's right there in your face, how am I a liar? But anyway, have it your way. Don't time nobody out. Block them for good. Tale of love gone. See, that's what I mean when I say idiots. It's right there in their face, and they're going to call somebody a liar. It's right there in your face. And this is via wiretap. So Taylor Love, you should go scrub your insides. This is all wiretap right here. This ain't hearsay. This is a wiretap. This is what they call probing. For the slow people like Taylor Love that don't know. This is probing. Not hearsay. This is probing. So, can I understand y'all hate me that much? But guess what? And the ones y'all love are the ones that's incriminating. Those are the ones that's compromised. So go ahead and continue loving them. You don't need to come over here. We Gucci over here. A United States Postal Service, USPS, records indicate that the mailing described above was sent by a certified mail from Chicago, Illinois, on November 20th, 2018, and received at the lawyer's address in Brooklyn, New York, on November 26th, 2018. USPS records for the certified mail return receipt associated with the mailing indicate that the destination address for the return receipt was 219 North Justine Street, Chicago, Illinois 60607. 1403. The address of a warehouse rented and used as inter alia, a recording studio by Kelly at the time. Make that make sense? So, on November the 26th, 2018, I believe on that day, matter of fact, November the 13th, I think that's when Rob went to Vegas. Because he had a show out there at the House of Blues. And he didn't get back. He didn't get back until well after this. I believe. I'm not sure. I got to check my calendar to make sure it's right. Yeah, 18. Yeah, he was in Vegas. Because 2019, he ain't go nowhere. All right. No, in 19, he was locked up. So 18 was Vegas, right? Okay. So in November and December the 18th, Donnell Russell was in telephone and email communication with an individual whose identity is known to the government, who offered to work on Kelly's behalf, including as a behind-the-scenes publicist for Kelly. Everybody know who that is. That's Cash Jones. Everybody know who that is. The publicist. Among other things, in early December 2018, Russell sent emails to the publicist, including, among other things, the same photographs of Jane Doe number 6, described above, on December 4th, 2018, using the alias :Dunn and the email address :Dunn@yahoo.com. Russell sent an email with the subject line, "The Survivors Exposed," to various individuals employed by A&E Networks, which owns Lifetime Entertainment. I told y'all that. Lifetime produced a documentary series featuring various of Kelly's accusers entitled "Surviving R. Kelly," which aired on the Lifetime TV network in early January 2019. On the evening of December the 4th, 2018, Lifetime was told Lifetime was to hold a private screening of a portion of the documentary at the theater in Manhattan, which is a federal theater. It's on federal ground. However, the screening was interrupted by a gun threat that was communicated by telephone to the theater. The December the 4th, 2018 email from Colon Dunn attached to PDF, the survivors PDF, that included photographs and purported derogatory information related to various of Kelly's accusers who appear in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary series, including Jane Doe number 4 and Jane Doe number 6, including the same photographs of Jane Doe number 6, partially exposed breasts and buttocks that were sent to Jane Doe number 6's lawyer in November 2018. That same day, Russell forwarded this email to the publicist. Let's stop right there. Y'all remember and when Don Russell came on Kevin Terrell joint and said, "Oh, DanaJay trying to stop everybody that's trying to help him. And he ain't helping Robert. Let us do what we gonna do. We still gonna put his music out. We gonna put his videos out because we need money." No, this is what it was all about. They needed me out the way so that way I wouldn't be able to break all this down as I was doing as I was doing for the last 2 years and stopping his bag. Also, I played the video with him saying that he got all of R. Kelly's signatures, he got the contracts, he got everything. He got the driver's license, he got the passport, he got all of that. But pay attention to the people who come out and say they are Don Russell's sister, and why would DanaJay have R. Kelly's why would DanaJay have R. Kelly passport? No, I never had it. This fool had it. Be aware of those people, because if they are saying that, they have been compromised. How many times do I got to keep saying it? Y'all seeing it in the paperwork. Let's watch. Jane Doe number 6 and her mother traveled to New York City to attend the December the 4th, 2018 Surviving R. Kelly premiere. The premiere was interrupted and police arrived and evacuated the theater where it was being held. Jane Doe number 6 later learned that a threat had been made to the theater, which resulted in the evacuation. Thereafter, Jane Doe number 6 returned to her hotel. No, she didn't. They went to a restaurant before she went to the hotel. But the indictment says Jane Doe number 6 returned to her hotel and encountered the publicist. By me hearing that, even though this case is bullshit and weak, by me hearing that, they type in word from what's going on Surviving R. Kelly. So the people that said that Surviving R. Kelly didn't play a part in this, now you see where it did. I said that from the jump. And Valencia Byrne, you said not true. What's not true? Cash Jones told y'all what happened, play for play. One thing I don't do is add fluff or take nothing away. Cash Jones has said what happened, play for play. So y'all see that this is the same talk from Surviving R. Kelly. So what part didn't Surviving R. Kelly play into this? The publicist told Jane Doe number 6 that she worked for Kelly and they needed to talk. That was at the restaurant. That wasn't at the hotel. Ultimately, Jane Doe number 6 and her mama agreed to meet with the publicist at a nearby restaurant. What did I tell you? At the meeting, the publicist was accompanied by a male individual with a gun on his person that Jane Doe number 6 believed to be the publicist's bodyguard. During the meeting, the publicist showed Jane Doe number 6 new photographs of Jane Doe number 6 and suggested that Kelly would release the photographs publicly if Jane Doe number 6 continued to speak about Kelly. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Plain and simple. Rob didn't trust Cash. Rob didn't trust Don. That's why he recorded both of them. At the end of the day, Rob didn't send Cash. Don did. Rob didn't send Michael Williams. Don did. Rob didn't send Richard Arline. Don did. But guess what? Who was all this falling on? Kelly. Why? Because all of them went down there and said, Rob told us to do it. Rob told us to do it. What up, Gemini Don? Hey, Miss High Pink. So, Jane Doe number 6 recognized the photographs as photographs that had been taken by Kelly during her relationship with him. On December 21st, 2018, Russell sent a series of text messages to Jane Doe number 6 and her mother, which included a text, just a sample. We will seek criminal charges. Wait a minute. Rob didn't ask you to speak on his behalf? And especially not somebody that's supposed to be testifying against him. Then he come and say, you've been warned, followed by photographs of portions of the survivors PDF, including the same photographs of Jane Doe number 6, included in the November 2018 mailing to Jane Doe number 6's lawyer. Thereafter, inter alia, Russell sent Jane Doe number 6 and her mother text messages stating, publishing soon. And this is : my investigation will be done soon enough. Where have y'all heard that before? My investigation will be done soon enough. Birds of a feather flock together. You heard that from Sean Harris. You heard that from Blockbender, right? When it came to the defense fund. Think about it. On January 3rd, 2019, Russell sent another text message stating, pull the plug or you will be exposed. Records. Here we go. Why my car going off? Hold on. Records from Spirit Airlines indicate that the publicist traveled from Florida to LaGuardia Airport with her cousin, Michael Williams, on the morning of December the 4th, 2018. Notably, on August 11, 2020, Michael Williams was arrested on a complaint charging him with witness intimidation and arson for setting fire to a car parked in the driveway of Jane Doe number 5's residence at the time. Williams was subsequently indicted by a grand jury in the Eastern District of New York on the same charges and thereafter pleaded guilty to arson. During the search of the hotel room Williams was staying in the hotel of his arrest, law enforcement agents recovered a loaded 9mm high-point handgun, with an obliterated serial number and a black holster. Now, let me ask you this question. This is for the people who can really think. If Michael Williams' only interaction was with Jane Doe number 6, why would he go blow up Jane Doe number 5 car if Jane Doe number 5 don't deal with Jane Doe number 6? Make that make sense. If Jane Doe number 5 don't deal with Jane Doe number 6, why would he go blow up Jane Doe number 5's car? I'm going to ask this question. How did he get the address to Jane Doe number 5? I believe it was somebody that lived in Conyers, Georgia, by the nickname of Warres, that put that address out on the internet. How many times have I said that? Like I said, this all paints it together. On January the 7th, 2019, at 2:42:01 UTC, Russell, using the : Don alias, created a Facebook page called Surviving Lies Facebook deactivated the Surviving Lives Facebook page on January 7, 2019 at 20:44:17. That's 10:44:17. So that's 10:44 p.m. and 17 seconds UTC. After posts targeting Jane Doe number 6 and another of Kelly's accusers were posted on the page by Russell. Those postings included photographs of text messages exchanges between Jane Doe number 6 and Kelly, and photographs of Jane Doe number 6 included in a November 18th mailing to Jane Doe number 6's lawyer. Following Facebook's deactivation of the page, Facebook issued a statement indicating that the page violated Facebook's community standards and had been removed, adding, "We do not tolerate bullying or sharing other private's contact information and take action on content that violates our policies as soon as we're aware." Excuse me. On January 25th, 2020, Russell appeared in a video interview live streamed on YouTube. During the interview, Russell introduced himself as Kelly's advisor, consultant, and friend, and indicated that he had known Kelly for going on 30 years. That was Nick at Night. Thereafter, during the interview, Russell discussed Jane Doe number 6 and the lawsuit she had filed, holding up copies of items that had been sent to Jane Doe number 6's lawyer, including the photographs of Jane Doe number 6 are described above. While holding up one of the pages with the photographs of Jane Doe number 6 to the camera, Russell stated, "That's my commentary at the bottom." On January 26, 2020, Russell appeared in another video interview live streamed on YouTube that was Phases the Next Level. During the interview, Russell again held up copies of items that had been sent to Jane Doe number 6's lawyer, including the photographs of Jane Doe number 6 described above. Wow. Okay. While holding up these items, Russell stated, "We sent these documents to the lawyer." Russell further stated, "These are the pictures of her Jane Doe number 6 that we sent. These are the text messages of her that we sent." Referring to a document in the mailing, Russell stated that Kelly signed it. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. January 25th was Phases. January 26th was Texas Black Diamond. So, hold on. In January 2019, time was 5 hours ahead of Eastern Time and 6 hours ahead of Central Time. Holding up these documents stated, "We sent these documents to the lawyer." Russell further stated that these are pictures of her Jane Doe number 6 that was sent. These are the text messages of her that was sent. Okay, yeah, got it right. Threats to Jane Doe 19. On or about November 2018, Kelly summoned Jane Doe number 19, a former girlfriend of Kelly. We all know who this is. This is Hallie Calhoun. This is Hallie Calhoun right here. Bribery of Cook County clerk. And we went over this last night. We all know who this is. This is Daryl Johnson. This is Daryl Johnson. We all know who this is. And Daryl Johnson admitted he said later in the same conversation, the crisis manager told Kelly that he had paid a clerk in Cook County $2,500 and procured a burner telephone for the clerk in order to obtain information about Kelly's legal trouble, stating, "That's done. You don't know nothing." Kelly responded, "Exactly. Like I don't know nothing." So everybody know that that's Daryl Johnson. And we also know that Daryl Johnson said that he's Greenberg's guy, not R. Kelly. Greenberg pays him, not R. Kelly. So with that being said, Greenberg knew about this the whole time, and he set it up. So the whole thing about getting off the case, it ain't had nothing to do with Nicole that was smoking mirrors. He didn't want this to come out. because everybody like me that's smart was going to put it together. Well, if Daryl Johnson did that, and Daryl Johnson said that Mr. Kelly don't pay him, and that he and that he get his directives from Greenberg, that means Greenberg directed Daryl Johnson to do this. That's why Greenberg didn't want certain lawyers on there, because they was going to pull his card when it came to this. The existence of Kelly prior criminal case in Cook County, everybody that's here should know about that, so we can skip that. That's 2002 to 2008, and the charges that he was acquitted on. Kelly's efforts to obtain child pornography, we should know about. This is the new one. Jane Doe number 5 is expected to testify that during the course of her relationship with Kelly, Kelly directed her to obtain child pornography involving boys for him. At Kelly's direction, Jane Doe number 5 searched the internet for pornography involving younger looking males and screen recorded such pornography for Kelly's use. Jane Doe number 5 believed the pornography that she found on the internet and downloaded for Kelly actually involved individuals who were 18 and older, given the website which she found the videos. A judicially authorized search of digital media recovered from Kelly's residence corroborates Jane Doe number 5's account. This way I call that bluff. Because if you don't see Rob with that, she used to live with Robert. So we don't know if she did that to intentionally set Robert up. Because we never heard Robert dealing with boys. Right. And Huff, so let me look at the chat, see what y'all saying. And Huff said that's why when Robert said Greenberg didn't show him no paperwork, and now we see why. Poor Robert. Yeah. So the whole thing about Greenberg owning his rights to his life, that's bullshit. Don Russell brought that out. That's bullshit. Do you think if Greenberg had rights to Robert's life, Robert wouldn't have been so adamant about firing him? Make it make sense. Hey, Dewan. So here's the images. Here's what they found. The government has been unable to confirm the identity or ages of the individuals appearing in these videos. So how don't we know that Azriel just did that for her leisure, just to set Robert up? So Angelo gonna have to bite this bullet on that one. And when people say that his daughter's an informant, and she got to go with that, he got to go with that, because that's what this is. An informant is a person who testifies with information for a higher authority. That's an informant. Audio recordings of physical abuse and threats. And we read that last night. You know, women lying, physical. We read that. For Jane Doe 20. We read all that. During the recording transcribed in part above, Kelly is overheard physically assaulting Jane Doe number 20, who Kelly claims he raised. Everybody know that's Lisa Van Allen. Y'all know from when he said, "Bitch, I bought you a house. Bitch, I bought you a car. Bitch, you know who you are." You know that whole thing? Yeah. Jane Doe number 20. Argument. The government moves in limine. Well, that's their argument. Evidence of the acts is admissible to establish the racketeering enterprise and its means and methods. So that's case law. All case law. As y'all see, all case law. Analysis. That's where we stop. First, as described below, each of the above described uncharged acts are integral to proving the existence and nature of the enterprise charged in this case. Specifically, such evidence is admissible as proof of, inter alia, the activities, purpose, and means of the enterprise, the defendant's role in the enterprise, and proof that the alleged predicate racketeering acts constitute a pattern of racketeering activity. The other acts evidence the government seeks to admit: Kelly's sexual abuse of minors, Kelly's use of physical harm and threats of physical harm on his victims, the unlawful imprisonment of women, and use of extraordinate and coercive tactics to exert and maintain control over his victims and employees, and robbery. All are evidence of the existence of the enterprise, its purposes, of means and methods, the pattern of racketeering, and specifically the relatedness of the racketeering acts and the threat of their continuity. For example, Kelly's abuse of Jane Doe number 1, Jane Doe number 7, Jane Doe number 8, Jane Doe number 9, Jane Doe number 10, Jane Doe number 13, and Jane Doe number 1. Wait a minute. How can you already said Jane Doe number 1? All minors at the time the abuse and attempted abuse began as evidence that his abuse of Jane Doe number 2, Jane Doe number 4, Jane Doe number 5, also minors, were not isolated events and were part of a larger pattern. Kelly's direction to Jane Doe number 5 to obtain child pornography for his use also demonstrates Kelly's motive and intent with respect to charge minor victims. I'm going to stop right there. This right here will get a government official charged, because now you're not saying allege, you're saying this is what really happened. How can you say this happened if you only heard Azriel but didn't hear Robert's side of the story? Make it make sense. So you cannot say that he did this. You have to say allegedly. But since they didn't, whoever wrote this, they can surely be charged for this if Robert's defense team were true dogs. Jane Doe number 1, Jane Doe number 7, Jane Doe number 8, and Jane Doe number 9, Jane Doe number 10, number 13, and Jane Doe number 1 again, as well as his control over Jane Doe number 5. Time out. Time out. If Jane Doe number 5 parents can't control her, how the fuck can Robert do it? Can somebody make this make sense to me? Can somebody make this make sense to me? If Angelo and Alice can't control her, what make you think that Robert can control her? Miss Down South 1979 Darling said nothing wrong with showing where the storage room is with the tapes are. Well, I'm gonna say this. If that's how you feel, but the tapes that they recovered didn't have nothing on it. So you can show it all day. But they even said that earlier in this. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it a buck. Tactics to unlawfully imprison women and girls to ensure their availability for Kelly at Kelly's demand. Such as the Uncharged Act involving Jane Doe 14 and the alleged Racketeering Act involving Jane Doe number 3, are evidence of the enterprise itself and its means and methods. Similarly, Kelly's physical and psychological abuse of Jane Doe number 16, Jane Doe 17, 18, and 20, and threats towards employee 1, Jane Doe 19, and Jane Doe 20 all tend to show that the similar abuse of Jane Doe number 4, 5, and 6 was part of an overchanting pattern employed by Kelly and members of the enterprise. I'm going to stop right there. Miss Down South, I'm going to ask you this question. Since you're reading that, I'm wondering that when the evidence comes to light, how many fans will close their eyes? You know what? I'm glad you said that because I'm not a fan. But I'm going to ask you this. Why isn't Rashona listed in this as a Jane Doe? Can I ask that question? If she testified under oath, why is she not listed in here as a Jane Doe? Can somebody make that make sense? Because they have the tapes? Oh. So if you couldn't tell the tape, listen, I'm glad you're here. If you can't tell who's on the tape back in 2002 to 2008, how can you tell who on the tape now? See, I'm going to ask the questions that people are scared to ask. Larry, Larry, Team Truth, all of them beat it in y'all head that Rashona testified. I'm now on page 33, and it have nothing from page 6 to 33 speaking about Rashona. Listen, the trial will start soon, and the tapes won't be faded. I get you. I get that. But I have a question for you. If the tape is not the same as it was shown in 2008, that means the tape was doctored. But that means the chain of custody was broken. That means you can't use that. So what is y'all next defense against Robert Sylvester Kelly? Because see, one thing about me, I believe in being fair. If he did it, he got to face it. But lying on somebody, it's not good. Huh? Well, I hear you have, Jay, been telling nothing what is the truth about Robert. Huh? Why has he done to be not with him? What? What hearing Larry, who apparently is a jealous man? Ashley K. Son, I don't know what you're saying. Can you no, Georgia girl, unhide her because I want to see exactly what she's saying. Oh, what everyone believes, Dana, after all the storytelling you have all heard about Rob. Hmm. She's in the Chicago case, not New York. Well, DJ Parrish, I don't know if you understand. Cherish Love, hey, DJ Parrish, I don't know if you understand, but the Chicago case has been vacated. It's not a case in Chicago. So she can't be in nothing. And this right here, this whole entire case is Chicago, except for two, but except for two parts. So if y'all want to make this into a debate, I would love to bring y'all on the screen, and then we can all talk about it civilly, like civil adults. Georgia girl, I got you. Better quality. No, you cannot do that. When you are when okay, let me explain this to you, Ms. Down South. When you have a video that's been submitted to court, you can no longer touch that. You can no longer touch it. So therefore, if it's better quality, it's been tampered with. Think about it. The chain of custody is broken. And when I've been telling people that when I've been telling people that Rashona did not testify, everybody's like, yes, she did. Well, it's nowhere in this paperwork so far. Now, as I finish reading, because I still have 18 more pages to go in this, if it pops up, I'll be the first one to say, I was wrong. But see, I have a trick in my bag. I can prove to you that whole cult shit was a lie and it was made up by Tim Savage. I might have just been on the phone, not saying a word, when Tim Savage broke it all down. And he ain't know. So, Miss Down South, what else can you come with? Y'all got to remember, I am one of the realest people on YouTube, and I'm gonna bring it to you straight. No chaser. Hey, DJ Parrish, there has not been on hold. The dates have been vacated. Once you vacate a date, they dismiss the case. It's vacated. Or the head prosecutor that had the 100 and something devices left the case. She asked to be taken off of it. No, this is not entertainment for me. This is my life. Miss Down South, can you just admit that you hate Robert? You know what? I'm gonna ask you one or two things. This way I'll put you on your square. It's either one or two things. One, and you either hate Robert, or two, you've been abused and your abuser haven't been caught. So therefore, you are identifying Robert as your abuser. I'm gonna let you pick which one it is. Because those are the only two things that could be going on. Hey, DJ Parrish, do you know Rashona? Can you tell me that was Rashona for real? Or was that Lisa Van Allen on the tape? Hey, Sky Zone. Lord, down south, then Miss Down South that brought Sky Zone out the bushes. Oh Lord, Sky Zone in the building. Here we go. Lord. So while y'all conjugate to get y'all lie together, I'm gonna continue reading. If anybody want to come on the screen, just put I want to come on the screen. I'll drop the link and we can dialogue. So let's go here. Along with the threats to expose embarrassing photographs of Jane Doe number 6, it is also evidence of the means and methods of the enterprise, that is the use of physical assaults and threats of physical, psychological, and reputational harm, including coercion, extortion, and blackmail, in an attempt to obtain total control over both victims and employees and ensure their strict adherence to Kelly's demands and to maintain and promote Kelly's stature in the music industry. and the continued operation of the enterprise. The threats against Jane Doe number 6 are also an example of the enterprise's use of pornography facilitated and created by the enterprise. Wait a minute. I have to agree with Dabowski. One man ain't no enterprise. Y'all targeting one man. So now y'all trying to put what Don Russell and his crew did on Robert and trying to say he facilitated this. I got one question for the government. How? How can he facilitate all this, record, sleep, play basketball, travel the world? Impossible. Impossible. So, and not simply for Kelly's sexual gratification. Given that multiple witnesses will testify regarding Kelly's filming of them and the nude and while engaged in sexual encounters, as well as other compromising and embarrassing situations at his direction. Fellas, time to change. Now they telling us we can't enjoy what we like to do in our bedroom. What if these females love being filmed? Until they got around their friends and their friends disagree with it. What if these females love doing crazy stuff, like swinging from the ceiling and bobbing for apples? Come on. At his direction, the existence of such videos within the defendant's possession and under his control resulted in an ever-present fear and that such compromising material could be disseminated to others or more broadly released, like the notes and letters containing embarrassing information, including falsehoods that the defendant directly, mainly of his victims to write. The defendant creation and retention of such material allowed for its use to control, coerce, extort, and blackmail victims, including as a means to ensure their silence. Similarly, payments to women and girls in exchange for their silence was also part of the means and methods of the enterprise. No, it wasn't. That was Daryl McDavid's idea. And he did it behind Robert's back because Robert didn't want to do it. He said, fuck it, let's go to court. As described above, Kelly and members of his inner circle negotiated financial settlements with multiple women and girls, including Jane Doe number 4, Jane Doe number 10, Jane Doe number 11, and Jane Doe number 12, and Jane Doe number 15, in exchange for their silence, thereby helping to ensure the continued existence of the enterprise. Finally, evidence of the discussion between the defendant and the crisis manager, Daryl Johnson, regarding robbery is probative of the required continuity component and tends to show the horizontal relatedness of the robbery charged in racketeering, Act 1. See United States versus Alkins. Oh my God. So Greenberg done got this man a robbery charge. That's enough for RICO Act 1 right there. Certain evidence and acts is directly relevant and extremely intertwined with the evidence of the charged crimes. For the following reasons, certain evidence of other acts is also direct evidence of and extremely intertwined with the evidence of the charged offenses, and this admissible to complete the story of the charged crimes. Then they have a legal standing case law. The Second Circuit has repeatedly upheld the admission of uncharged act evidence as direct evidence of the charged crimes, where such evidence provides necessary background or context for the charged crimes. All case law. All case law. So it says in this report, trial courts may admit evidence that does not directly establish an element of the offense charge in order to provide background for the events alleged in the indictment. Background evidence may be admitted to show, for example, the circumstances surrounding the events or to furnish an explanation of the understanding or intent with which certain acts were performed. All case law. Even the analysis. Analysis. Evidence of certain of the other acts described above are interactively intertwined, that they are necessary to complete the story of the crime on trial. Said you at work or you would. Hold on. I had to put her together. She's still talking smoke. Wow. First evidence regarding Kelly's illegal sexual relationship with Jane Doe number 1. A minor he believed he had impregnated. Is necessary to establish his motive, intent, and plan, among other things, for engaging in the bribery conduct charge in Racketeering Act 1. So I got a question. If Aaliyah has passed away, right? How do you know there's evidence there? How do you know that he believed that he got her pregnant if he always said that they never had nothing sexually going on? I'm going to help y'all with this. Remember Greenberg went on court TV and said that him and his client that his client and Aaliyah was married? Don't you think the government spoke to him? Why you think Greenberg haven't said nothing since he was off the case? Why do you think Daryl Johnson disappeared? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Hey, Kimberly, I say the same thing. So now you can't make porn no more, y'all. And you can't do nothing like, you know what? This right here is going to be a case law for people to hurt men. So when men start saying you gotta only believe men, and we gonna look foolish. But when them crazy women went out there and saying it, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Hey, Miss Down South, if you want to join the panel, I can make it happen real quick. Just like this. Just like that. You can join the panel. I'll be glad to talk to you. That's cool. If you want to make me a star, make sure I get paid. And you know what? Undercover and informative, I totally believe that. And when I said this 6 months ago, everybody looked at me like I was crazy. I've been said that Greenberg was working with the government. I've been said that. Hold on, but let's finish breaking this down. Then I'm gonna look at y'all comments. Both elements that the government will need to prove at trial to establish racketeering acts 8, 12, and 14 and count 6 through 8. Additionally, Jane Doe number 5 heard and saw Kelly inflict physical assault on Jane Doe number 16 and 17 and 18, and evidence of such assaults therefore helps to explain in part how the defendant maintained control over Jane Doe number 5. I'm gonna stop right there. I got a question for you, Miss Down South. Hey, Chris, no, don't delete her. Because I want to see everything she's saying. Mm-mm. And Miss Down South, I got a question for you. Why is Dominique not in none of these Jane Does? And Dominique been there the longest with Robert? Can somebody ask that for me? Answer that for me? Why is Dominique not in here? Can somebody ask that for me? Answer that for me? Similarly, Kelly's and other Enterprise members' efforts to threaten Jane Doe number 6 and her mother with the exposure of embarrassing photographs. Okay, let's go here. Here we go again. Here we go. No, here we go again. How is Don Russell helping him? Because it clearly says similarly. Kelly's and other Enterprise members' efforts to threaten Jane Doe number 6 and her mother with the exposure of embarrassing photographs of her is evidence of Kelly's regular recording of his interactions with Jane Doe number 6, as she will testify, and is part of Kelly's attempts to maintain and control over Jane Doe number 6, as well as the existence of the Enterprise and the lengths to which Kelly and other Enterprise members went to protect the Enterprise. No, Kelly told her to leave. He told her that he wasn't dealing with her and she wasn't going to be number 1. Kelly threats towards employee number 1 also helped to explain her an evolving relationship with Kelly and how Kelly maintained control over Enterprise members. Wait, so Cheryl Mack the only one that got threatened? Make that make sense. Make sense. Make that make sense. Let me see if anybody trying to come on. I put the link out there. Let me do it again. I would love. I mean, hey. Limited evidence regarding the existence of Kelly's prior Cook County criminal case, the nature of charged crimes, sexual exploitation of a minor, the case's duration, approximately 6 years, and his ultimate acquittal after trial is also inextricably intertwined with evidence of the charges, crimes, and evidence regarding the existence and evolving means and methods of the enterprise. For example, the government expects that certain witnesses will testify about changes in the protocols used by certain employees in an effort to protect the enterprise following the initiation of the prior criminal case and during its lengthy pendency. It is also inextricably intertwined with Kelly and other members of the enterprise use of certain methods, including the collection of identification documents and the use of non-disclosure agreements to settle agreements. Stop. First, y'all say he messing with minors. Now y'all got a problem that he documented the people that came by collecting and making copies of their ID. You can't have it both ways, government. Either he's messing with minors or he's collecting IDs to prove that nobody was a minor. Which one is it? Oh man, I'm thinking about going to law school. This make me want to go to law school. Because, see, this is pissing me off. This is really pissing me off because all the lies that's being said. Thank you so much, Ann. Appreciate it. This is so much. It's like the lies won't. When will the lies stop? That's all I want to know. Is when will the lies stop? As well as threats, coercion, and extortion to prevent women and girls from reporting his conduct to law enforcement authorities. Additionally, evidence related to the facts underlying the charge, including the fact that a video of the defendant engaging in sexual activity with a minor was widely and publicly disseminated. Is relevant to the defendant's knowledge and intent with respect to the charged crimes to show that the defendant understood the consequences of his actions when he filmed underage girls, including Jane Doe number 4 and Jane Doe number 5, i.e., that such videos would be disseminated. Wait a minute. Shouldn't Rashona be in that? Because Jane Doe number 4 is not Rashona, and neither is Jane Doe number 5. So shouldn't Rashona be in this? That's what I want to know, Kimberly. But shouldn't Rashona be in this? I'm going to come on and debate during the trial. A few more surprises are coming out. The boys are just the tip of the tip of the greenbird. Miss Down South, see, I know what riddles that you're trying to imply in. But trust me, I will be going live the night after the trial, and we will be discussing it. That's why the Chicago judge vacated his trial. So, Jane Doe number 4 and Jane Doe number 5, neither one of them is Rashona Landfair. So don't you think that if Rashona testified that she would be part of this video thing, since y'all say that she was the one on the videotape, as DJ Parrish said? I'm just saying. I'm here to say what nobody else is going to say. I'm here to break this down piece by piece that nobody else can say. So, why Rashona Landfair is not in this section right here of Robert's supposed to be taping underage girls? That's all I want to know. I can't never pronounce this lady's name. Lady LaFleur. This is the time that I would love to talk to her, because Rashona is not in the paperwork. Because 4 is Geronda, and 5, I can't say her name because it's under seal. So, and that his purpose of having sex with these minor victims was, at least in part, for the purpose of producing such a visual depiction and not by accident or mistake. In addition, the nature of the charges is relevant background to explaining why the defendant told many of his victims that he would be giving certain items, including some of the letters containing falsehoods, to his lawyers for safekeeping. The fact of the charges is also relevant background to explain why John Doe, number one, told the defendant that he had access to a juror, a fact that the government should be permitted to front by eliciting on direct examination rather than waiting for the defendant to elicit as impeachment material on cross-examination. Wow. This is what we're going to do, because I don't want to bore y'all. We almost finished, but we're going to take a break. We're going to take a little 5-minute break. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Let's go ahead and listen to some music real quick. Hey, let's go from there.
Anticipate, you grace the stage, begin to play the Steinway. All eyes on you, in all black suits, the crowd goes silent in this place. Piano keys, the melody that you select is teasing me, and I'm not really trying to be a bad girl tonight. But you about to make me be a bad girl. And I have another drink, then I'm gonna leave. But I make it worth your while. If you come over here and give me some piano lessons, some piano lessons, some piano lessons, some piano lessons.
Okay, Scott. Yes, Samantha, it is. Right.
Makes me wish I had your hands, playing my body like it were an instrument. Do it so good, boy, make me wanna do it back. That sounds so good to me. I can write a song with that. We can be a duet. You come to my home.
Hey, Toy.
We'll practice all night long. And I'm not really trying to be a bad girl tonight, but you about to make me be a bad girl tonight. Have another drink,
right, J-Rock.
Make it work you out. If you come over here and give me some piano lessons, some piano lessons, some piano lessons, some piano lessons. You write a song. You write a song. You write a song. You write a song. Let's write a song.
But wait, gotta speak to my sis, Toy. Toy, Sky Zone said what it do.
You come over here and give me some piano lessons, some piano lessons, some piano lessons, some piano lessons. You write a song. You write a song. You write a song. You write a song.
You can't see Toy? Because she jumped in and jumped back out.
vacations somewhere on tropical islands. I heard about the sky blue waters, the buried treasures and pirates.
Facts.
I heard all of the famous stories.
Facts.
From comic books to mystery. But sometimes the type of gets boring, and I need some sex to set me free. So I took a pen and wrote a series. It's called Company.
Can't see him in the chat?
Scene opens up with you and me in my bedroom. You taking your clothes off beside the
Thank you for stopping over.
Go, till you get excited. Go, come do it again. Now I've flown all of the finest jet planes, landed in some of the livest cities, tossed money at the stripper dancers, all because they show they tickle bitties. Now I've stepped out the most expensive car, from Lamborghinis to stretch getting, but material things just don't get me high. Sex to set me free.
Thank you for stopping past. And that's all we screaming over here.
Me in my bed, yeah. Taking your clothes off as I begin to kiss you. Go, till you get excited. Go, come do it again. Scene opens up, you me in my bed, me. You taking your clothes off as I begin to kiss you. Go, till you get excited. Go, come do it again. First scene opens up with you and me in my bedroom. You taking your clothes off as I begin to kiss you. Go, till you get excited. Go, come do it again. First scene opens up with you and me in my bedroom. You taking your clothes off as I begin to kiss you. Go, till you get excited. Go, come do it again. First scene opens up with you and me in my bedroom. You taking your clothes off as I begin to kiss you. Go, till you get excited. Go, come do it again. First scene opens up with you and me in my bedroom. You taking your clothes off as I begin to kiss you.
All right. Indeed, a victim's failure to report will likely be raised by the defendant during cross-examination in support of an argument that the victim's testimony with respect to Kelly's conduct is fabricated. But the failure to report and instead seek a civil matter or simply to remain silent is readily explained by the fact that the defendant was once charged with sexually exploiting a minor. There was a video widely believed to feature the defendant with a minor, and the jury acquitted him. Let's stop. Here's proof. Here's proof. Here's proof. Here's proof. If Roshana was in a case, here's the proof. If Roshana was in the case, wouldn't they say Jane Doe number whatever instead of exploiting a minor? If Roshana was in the case, nah, John Doe number 1 and 2 is not Bubba. But wait, I seen it. I just answered it. It's not Bubba. If Roshana Landfair was in this case, don't you think it would have said Jane Doe number and not exploiting a minor? You know what I'm saying? Nope. A female cannot be a John. That's a male. Jane Doe number 1 is not her, it's Aaliyah. And that came from Demetrius Smith. So, if Rashoma asks again, if Rashona Landfair was in this case, don't you think it will say Jane Doe, whatever? But let's see what it says. But the failure to report and instead seek a civil settlement or supply or simply to remain silent is readily explained by the fact that the defendant was once charged with sexually exploiting a minor. There was a video widely believed to feature the defendant with a minor, and the jury acquitted him. If Rashona was in this case, it wouldn't say exploiting a minor. It would say exploiting Jane Doe number whatever. There was a video widely believed to feature the defendant with Jane Doe number whatever, and the jury acquitted him. That's what it would have said. But it don't say that. I keep telling y'all, that was one of the great debates that me and Larry had. And I said, once our family came out with that lawyer and threatened the federal government backed off of them. DJ Parrish, the Cook County case will be introduced at trial. I'm glad you're saying this. You know why? Because it's evident that you don't know law. They can introduce the Cook County case, but this what I'm reading right here, this is the outline of what's going to be introduced. Anything outside of this, you can't introduce it to court. This is what they're trying to get past that they can introduce. Once again, you cannot phantomly bring somebody. They have Jane Doe 1 through 18. 1 through 20, I'm sorry. 2 of them are dead. Been deceased for years. Thus, the 2008 charges, and here we go to answer y'all questions. I'm glad y'all said that. Thus, the 2008 charges and the acquittal are necessary background to help explain why some of his victims long opted against reporting his conduct. So this telling you, as you said, DJ Parrish, you were right. They're going to try to bring it up. But watch this. Nor is the probative value substantially outweighed by the risk of unfair prejudice. This right here counsels them bringing in the 2008 trial. At the end of the day, they talking and they shooting themselves at the same time. Given that he is charged with the same type of charges here, and the fact of his acquittal in the prior Cook County case will be introduced at trial. What have you just did? You opened yourself up to a hung jury or dismissal because now you're using 2008 state case into a 2021 fair case. If he got dismissed, you can't prosecute off of a dismissal or acquittal. You can't prosecute at a different juncture off of an acquittal. Didn't we just see Bill Cosby walk because of this? This right here, if they find R. Kelly guilty on this, this undermines the court system in Chicago. This right here gives me the sign of an overreaching prosecutor that's trying to reach for the stars and shoot for the moon. J-Rock, if it was state, it'd be double jeopardy. But because it's feds, it's not double jeopardy. Only thing they did was move jurisdiction. But here's the problem. Ain't none of this happened in New York. So why can't the defense team signal jurisdiction rule and move jurisdiction? Actually, you can have this case thrown out because who got jurisdiction of the case? Where it happened at, that's who have jurisdiction. Miss Felicia White, you are late to the party. You are a day late. And we talked about that yesterday. About the bribery charge with Daryl Johnson. And we talked about that yesterday. But yes, you are absolutely right. They're trying to prove robbery charges. But Greenberg set that up, not Robert. Robert ain't know nothing about it. Here's the case law for the legal standard. Now check this out. I want y'all to read this part right here. While the government must explain in detail the purposes for which the evidence is sought to be admitted. So I got a question. Was what they said detailed enough to explain it? It was detailed, but now is it proof? Now watch this analysis. Evidence of the defendant's sexual abuse of Jane Doe 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, and 1 again. I got a question. How do Jane Doe appear 2 times as one person? How do Aaliyah appear 2 times as one person? Can't the defense call Rashona to testify? If so, it will be in here. She would be one of the Jane Does listed. She's not listed as a Jane Doe. Let's see what else y'all saying. Shirley Williams said, Kimberly Nicole, that lets you know they ain't got nothing because what they doing. And Miss Shirley, I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't want y'all to say they don't have nothing because then it make y'all seem crazy. They have their beliefs. So they have something. However, is there something strong enough to keep this man? At the end of the day, what their beliefs are is something, but they don't have the full discrete evidence to make that something something. When you go to a grand jury, you don't have nobody opposing you. And you don't have no depositions. The only thing you have is what somebody's saying. And based on what they saying, and if a little inklet if it corroborates just a little bit, they will take what you say at a grand jury and prosecute. When they go and get a little bit of corroborating evidence, if somebody say something, if somebody do whatever, then they supersede it. And that's what we have here. Okay, give me 10 minutes. I'm going to finish this in 10 minutes and I'll give you a call. All right. Man, I'm talking to a text message like it's on the phone. Mm. Mm. All right. All minors should be admitted for the proper purpose of establishing a common scheme or plan used by the defendant, as well as his modus operandus. Oh, so now you're trying to say that his mind is stuck on minors. Come on, man. We read it out. This is a repeat. What the hell? We read all that first. Okay. Read all that. Okay, let's read it. Wait a minute. Finally, the probative value of the other act's evidence is not substantially outweighed by its prejudicial effect. Evidence in other crimes is admissible when offered for a proper purpose through various types of evidence, including witness testimony, so long as the evidence does not involve conduct any more sensational or disturbing than the crime with which the defendant has been charged. Patri. So wait a minute. Evidence of other crimes is admissible when offered for a proper purpose. So okay, so you're trying to use case law to get all of that stuff put in, and they don't want none of Robert's stuff put in. Okay, this case law. As noted above, the evidence relating to the other criminal acts listed above will come primarily from the testimony of victim witnesses, and with respect to the threats against Jane Doe number 6, documentary evidence. Accordingly, the quality of the evidence is no more prejudicial than that offered with regard to the other charged crimes. More importantly, the uncharged criminal acts are either similar in nature or less sensational than the charged crimes. In any event, any potential prejudice to the defendant can be effectively mitigated by a cautionary instruction limiting the jury's consideration of the evidence to the purposes for which it is offered. Okay, we read that. Okay. But I'm going to read it again. Legal standard. In a sexual assault case, the admissibility of evidence of a prior assault, of a prior sexual assault offense is governed by Rule 413. The rule provides that in a criminal case in which a defendant is accused of a sexual assault, the court may admit evidence that the defendant committed any other sexual assault. The evidence may be considered on any matter to which it is relevant. And they got the here. Another case law. Pain on another person. 5. An attempt or conspiracy to engage in conduct described in subparagraphs 1 through 4. All case law. This is all case law. Jesus. Evidence of the defendant's prior sexual assault is admissible under Rule 413, where all case law. So right here is just case laws of telling the judge of why she should allow stuff to be in. The defendant is charged with sexual assault. He is not. He's accused right now. Kelly is currently charged with multiple types of sexual assault. First, Racketeering Act 4 and Count 1 of the indictment alleges that Kelly sexually assaulted Jane Doe number 3 by engaging in sexual contact without her consent. So now they're trying to say he raped somebody. Wait a minute. They go deep. Wait a minute. Definition of sexual assault includes state law violations involving contact without consent between any part of the defendant's body or an object of another person's genitals or anus. Second, Racketeering Act 6, 11, and 13, involving Jane Doe number 4, 5, and 6, allege that the defendant caused them to engage in sexual contact with them by placing them in fear of inter alia, physical injury, conduct that qualifies as sexual assault. Okay. All case law. So they trying to prove their point. So right here is where they trying to get other people to testify. And it says the victims identified and the other acts evidence described above should be permitted to testify using and be referred to by their first name only or pseudonym or pseudonyms at trial. For the reasons stated in its first motion of limine filed on July the 10th, 2021, CECF number 121. The government respectfully submits that the victim witnesses identified above, namely Jane Doe number 8, Jane Doe number 10, Jane Doe number 11, Jane Doe number 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 20, and John Doe 1 and John Doe 2, should be permitted to testify using their first names only or pseudonyms, and or should be referred to in this manner by other witnesses and the parties at trial. As described above, testimony related to those witnesses will consist of highly sensitive and personal testimony concerning their medical history and illegal sexual abuse and contact by the defendant, some of which occurred while most of them were minors. The limited protections requested by the government, the victim witnesses' personal identifiers are reasonable, necessary, and appropriate to protect their safety and well-being, avoid harassment for the victim witnesses by the press and others, and prevent undue embarrassment and other adverse consequences such as retaliation by the defendant's supporters. Here we go again. Hey, Ty. Here we go again. Here we go again. Victim witnesses, personal identifiers, and reasonable, necessary and appropriate to protect their safety and well-being, avoid harassment of the victim witnesses by the press and others, and prevent undue embarrassment and other adverse consequences, such as retaliation by the defendant's supporters. Who was doing the retaliation? Look at it. Sylvia gave the address out. Sylvia doxed them all, gave out their locations. Bedbug went on a tax spree. Hollywood Next only attacked one, but Bedbug went on a tax spree with a lot of them. And so was others. Where D-Boy at? I heard somebody say the Boski. Where D-Boy at? Hold on for a second. I need to see something. I don't know what the Boski done said, but whatever he said got y'all laughing. Let me see something. Hold on, y'all, because should nobody be blocked on this channel, except for the ones that was blocked today. So let me see. Man. All right, let's see. Debo ain't blocked on here. Need for relocation. Where's he at? I can't see him. He might got me blocked because this was our beefing page at one point. I can't see him. Need for relocation or loss of employment. Here we go. Here we go. and prevent undue embarrassment and other adverse consequences, such as retaliation by the defendant's supporters, need for relocation, or loss of employment. That's a damn shame. I can't see Debo at all. This is a damn shame. Look, I know Debo glad he took my advice. I know Debo glad he took my advice. Look, how can this come up? You see what I'm saying? Like everything that I've been saying, everything Debo been saying, everything. Well, a lot of stuff that Larry been saying been coming up, but a lot of the stuff Larry done sent over, and it's bullshit. And I'm going to break it all down. Conclusion: for the reasons set forth above, the government's motion and lemonade should be granted. Now we got to see what Ann Donnelly say. But I'm gonna say this: I'm glad Larry did send a lot of that over. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it shows just how crazy that the federal government will go reach. But the people that's really doing stuff ain't. I'm lost. The people that's really doing stuff, they ain't bothering. And y'all seen that in the last 2 days in that whole joint. But we gonna go to what the defense said. We ain't finished. We ain't stopping. And we gonna knock this out. Our next joint is the witness. Is the defense reply. We going there, y'all. And we on a mission today. Our mission is to make sure everybody is well aware. I can't see Debo. I think he might have got me blocked. But anyway, I know he here. And you know what? I'm gonna put this out here. Here's the link again. Anybody want to join? Hit the link. Let's talk. Because I'm gonna make this an all-day thing. Because they got an extensive motion to eliminate that I gotta read. And that one by itself is 89 pages. Miss Visby said, hold on, let me get to some of y'all comments before I keep going. Scroll up atop of Andrew's comment. You see his comment. We see Debo in the chat. Okay, it don't matter. That's my dog. I mean, hey. Willie, Miss Lady T. Also, we can't forget Prima Donna, who's at work. They won't stop with drummer. No, they won't. But I mean, let them do their thing. Just not over here. Ain't nobody paying Ty no attention. I see him there. Man, look, I'm so tired right now. I don't know what's going on. I had to check to make sure he wasn't blocked. He not blocked. Unemployment. These scammers don't work. The Bolski is here. That man, look, I'm telling you, I'm running off of films right now, so you got to forgive me. Hit the like button. It's just good. Is Debo page 2? Nah. Hey Debo, if you here, hop on, bro. Because Debo page 2 would have popped up. I want to make sure that's the right page, man, because they out here cloning people pages. Hop on. Yeah, it'll pop up on the side. Switch it from top chat to live chat. Matter of fact, I am in live chat. That's all I do is live chat. No. Yo, he, you know what? He got me blocked on that page. Because I don't have a block on my joint. He got me blocked on that page. If that's Debo number 2, he got me blocked on that page. See, I can't even comment. They talking about that part right there, Daboski. I can't even comment. Hit, man, I'll give you one better. This is what I'm going to do. I'll do you one better. Hold on.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
I don't know. That's all that Papoose lady do is blame me for stuff.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 7738.
Seen somebody pop up. Hold on. Okay. It's on this side. Yo. Debo. Unmute your phone. I mean, unmute your joint. Say something now. You're muted. Unmute your device. Debo. Man, he got his device muted. Whatever he doing, he's trying to say something, but he got his whole thing muted. T-Baby, help him unmute his device. Miss Bisbee said Sly Fox need to be locked up. Of course. I put the link up. Miss Shirley, that's what she do. She always got somebody naming something. Yo.
Did I make it?
Yeah, you made it now. You sound like you horse.
I was working last night.
Man. So what you think about this, bro?
I hope you ain't one of them John Does in there, man.
Oh, hell no, not me.
I just wonder, man. I bullshit you not. This R. Kelly shit, man, that took a lot out of me.
But it also make you think about some shit too.
Man, this shit make me want to fucking go stand out in the fucking street by my damn self.
There we go
Straight
again.
up.
Really,
This
I'm gonna be honest with you. Seeing the shit that Greenberg trying to pull off or tried to pull off, man, for this shit make you need to go investigate your whole circle, bro.
looking at Johnson like the baby powder, recording people on phone conversations. Who directed you to go pay $2,500 to somebody? Nobody. You did it on your own.
No, Greenberg told him to do it. Because if you notice, when they came out and said, "Why is you doing this?" But that Mr. Kelly instruct you, he came out and said, "I get all of my directors from Mr. Greenberg. Greenberg pays me. Mr. Kelly don't pay me."
Yeah, he did say that.
So that right there lets you know that Greenberg knew about this, and that's why he wasn't giving the paperwork to Robert. Because at the end of the day, if that would have been shown, he would have been like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
You read this, this indictment when it first dropped. You read it, you get familiar with it. Then they revise it. You get familiar with that. They revise that. You get familiar with that. They revise that. Then I just stopped reading this shit because I was like, you know what? I don't know when the next time they're gonna revise it. So
Well,
I
I got
stopped reading it. They stopped revising it. We get ready for trial. You drop 50 more pages. You don't have this man locked up 2 years. They asked you to hand over all the evidence.
ain't nobody
How
for
is it you still got evidence to hand over at the last minute when you supposed to hand it over all the evidence months and months and months ago? If this man been in jail 2 years, it shouldn't be no more charges that you need to put in. The charges should already been there.
Oh no. Oh no, it's more. Cause if you ain't pay attention and to what they said in that motion to eliminate, I'm gonna read the bigger motion to eliminate later on. That one is 89 pages alone.
I just think it's not fair to this man to be locked up 2 years and now you just now making the case. All these charges should have been brought on this man maybe last year, maybe 6 months in, 8 months in. We pushing damn near 3 years. This man been in the belly of the beast, and you still coming up with some charges.
I
All
totally
them
agree.
charges should have been there.
I totally agree. But then here's my question. If Robert is such a bad person, right? Why is it that all the employees are not saying nothing, but it's just one in Cheryl Mack?
If R. Kelly was such a bad person, out of 30 years of performing all around the world,
You only got 20 women?
and out of them 20 women, only 5 of them got a case.
I'm
Ain't
gonna be
nothing
honest.
wrong with having a relationship with somebody, and some of them damn women is grown as hell.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't see 5 women that got a case.
I'm just saying they made a case with 5 women, but you gonna try to Bill Cosby the man with 15 motherfuckers that's just gonna come in here and testify to something that can't be verified.
And they went back, as I said they was gonna do. They went back and got Lisa Van Allen. Now, this what they really did. But they made Leavenweather mad, and the head prosecutor walked off. Leavenweather, but he vacated the whole Chicago trial. Matter of fact, if you look in Pacer, it's vacated. It ain't no dates, it ain't no nothing. It's all vacated. So what the prosecution did was went and got the Chicago people and stacked them up in New York. But the problem is jurisdiction. If it happened in Chicago, if it happened in California, you can't charge them in New York. There's no jurisdiction.
Some I'm not understanding. Speaking of Lynn Weber, I just want to throw this out there. Lenning Weber, whatever his name is, the judge.
You gotta be so analytical.
He just denied Larry Hoover. He just denied Larry Hoover, I think this week or last week. Larry Hoover was up for trying to get I think he wasn't even trying to get out. He asked to get out of prison, but he said if he can't get out of prison, he just wanted to go to state prison. And the judge prior to this was giving him some rhythm, saying that he shouldn't have been locked up in confinement this long and all this shit. But then when they brought the motion to him, he just denied it. So to me, he come off wishy-washy because you acted like you was advocating with dude, and his lawyer just put together a motion, gave it to you, and you denied it.
So wait. I thought Larry Hoover's situation was supposed to be this Friday coming up.
Yeah, and if they some type of way it got done a little bit before, and Lynn Weber denied him.
That's crazy. So I guess Larry Hoover, a lawyer's got to put in a motion to eliminate.
No, what I'm saying with that is just so you can, read the judge's mind. That I look at that as your mental. This nigga been in prison 40 years in solitary confinement. He said he ain't even seen grass or a tree.
Wow.
And you just left the man up in that. To me, that just let me know the type of motherfucker you is as a judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Not that I give a damn about Larry Hoover, but as a black man, I do. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this, Debo. Is it because they trying to say that he still is responsible and for the stuff that these knuckleheads is doing out there?
Same shit with R. Kelly, man. Same shit with R. Kelly. Same shit with. I guess that's just the way they get this motherfucker come up for an appeal. Now all of a sudden he done hired two GD bosses from East St. Louis to step up in command. But you in the belly of the beast where everything watched, recorded, tapes. R. Kelly in the belly of the beast where everything watched, recorded, tape. I don't know how these motherfuckers come up with these scripts that somebody running something from somewhere when they put you in there to what? Protect the public, to protect the accusers, to protect this and protect that. So how could somebody be running something when you the one that got them detained?
Right. So Debo, let me ask you this, because I know I'm not the only sexual person that's in this chat or that's online. So how is spanking a woman a crime?
How's a woman calling you daddy a crime?
Right. And I'm glad that Nicole brought that up because in sex, when you hitting it from behind, they like to be spanked on their butt.
I got a better question. How is R. Kelly being charged with traveling with an infectious venereal disease? But I'm looking at Israel and Faith Rogers going to do book signings, interviews, and etc.
And not even say nothing about their diseases.
While they dancing on guys in the club.
Facts. On top of that, if you seen in my live from last night, they but they put that two other women who, and I can't say their name, and because their names are under seal, had venereal diseases, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can they have venereal diseases, but Drea don't?
Good question.
And he was spanking Drea every day.
I'm so
Hey,
glad
Queen.
I didn't buy a plane ticket, man.
Nah, but I'm saying trial still going on for the 18th.
Yeah, but how's the trial gonna go when they done drop 50 pages on Negro?
Cause I'm gonna tell you why. That right there, and the motion to eliminate this right here is not to stop what's going on. This is to show the defense of what they gonna put in play in court. All of this is what they gotta face.
Then I wonder this: why all the people is asking me why am I walking through the street asking where the parents? When you walking through the street and you asking where the parents at, where the parents at, where the parents at, I seen people face when I walk past. I'm like, yeah, you right. That's a good question. Now the government talking about, no, don't ask the parents where they was at.
Dana, isn't Kel supposed to be released after 2 years? Is that why they are bringing all these stuff up? No, he's not supposed to be released after 2 years. They can hold you.
What R. Kelly should have did, as soon as he got arrested, he should have asked for a speedy trial like Durham McDavid.
Matter of fact, he did ask for a speedy trial.
So what's going on with that?
It got thrown out. It was denied.
And I don't understand that because you have a right to a speedy.
Mm.
And I don't see how Daryl McDavid, when he has to have his case suffered, why they try to deny that. You got the right to have your case suffered. You don't got to go to trial with R. Kelly if you don't want to.
Dread never had a STD. None at all.
Drill ain't got an STD. Kitty Jones ain't got an STD. Uh, Holly Klum, I don't know if she got one.
No, never. R. Kelly was worth millions of dollars, and you people were close to him. What happened that you guys have to end up on YouTube for peanuts money? That shows you all a bunch of fools.
Let me answer that. First of all, whatever R. Kelly got, he don't owe us nothing. He don't owe us shit. I could walk down the street with R. Kelly tomorrow. He can have $1 million in his pocket. He ain't got to give me nothing. He don't owe a motherfucking shit. And that's where the problem started, where everybody thinking that this nigga owe them, I can help them and can get this. No, go get your own shit. There's so many people out here talking about free R. Kelly on YouTube right now, only hoping to get something when the man get out. Do what you do as his friend. That's what it is.
Facts. But
Yeah.
Debo, we got to do a live tonight, man, and we got a special agenda to target, bro.
I ain't even went to sleep. I was listening to this shit. I'm gonna tell you, man. I swear to God, when I was first talking to you, and I was like, this R. Kelly shit been taking a lot out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to drop down on my knees and pray today, man. Like,
Man,
yeah, this shit, but making nigga have a heart attack.
man. When I went to sleep last night, bro, I was so emotional because it's like everything I've been telling everybody is right there in the motion to eliminate. And the crazy part is I was called a mole. I was called an informant. I
And then
was
they gonna take all that shit from Larry. And and
right.
I I swear I should send these fucking recordings to Nicole Becker. Larry told me it was gonna be some dudes. He told me when they came to get kills, he passed his phones to Israel, and they in this motion talking about some screen recorded porno. Did she screen record it when she had his phones over Larry's house?
That's the point that I made. But
I
I
don't know
will
why he gave her his phone anyway. He should have broke that shit.
but I will say this. He didn't pass her phone. He didn't pass his phone. Rob had 3 different phones. And the phone that he had and the federal government took from him right then and there.
And then this whole shit with Don Russell. Don Russell did what he did on his own.
Facts.
And he ain't being charged with R. Kelly. So I wouldn't even want them to, if I hire you as my
Oh
lawyer,
no. Oh
I
no.
wouldn't want I wouldn't want Don Russell mentioned at my trial. I would put in the motion to have it where they can't bring nothing up with him because he ain't
Oh
got nothing
no.
to do with me.
He's been tried. He's been his charges has been linked to Robert and is an emotional eliminate.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying is they not gonna be sitting at the table together when the trial starts.
No, so the federal government made it so that Don Russell and R. Kelly will never see each other again.
So if you're not gonna charge me with him, I don't want to hear none of his case at my shit to take the jury. I would put in the motion where Don Russell case couldn't be mentioned in my shit.
Well, Don, but it says in the motion to eliminate with where Don Russell went down there and said Robert made him do it. Pretty much, he pretty much put all that on Robert. I believe it was page 20.
And then Daryl Johnson with this shit. A lot of these people like Daryl Johnson, if you watch Tasha K saying that this man stole all this people's shit and all this stuff, there's no reason why you won't be a fucking paid informant. When you go back to Death Row Records, they sent the FBI agent to go and work with the security team at Death Row, which was all police officers, and dude was an FBI agent sent in there.
Uh-huh.
So they sent people in places when they got cases to work off and stuff like that. If Daryl Johnson swindled people out of money multiple times, I'm pretty sure he got in the gym and working that shit off.
Kimberly, I totally agree with you. Kimberly Nicole said they use COVID as an excuse for delaying everything and just warehousing people. Facts.
Shit, they still was telling me to come to court throughout the COVID and everything. I'm for a damn traffic ticket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nikki, I'm gonna read, but that's Canic response right there. I'm gonna read it.
But yeah, that dude, Larry, all that shit that they saying, that's all the shit he said. It's damn near like he wrote it.
But see, all that stuff came from Angelo.
And Angelo been on YouTube crusading for his daughter. Why is your daughter out here letting motherfuckers run trains on her?
Mm.
Carrying an infectious venereal disease. Wilding out on a reviewer who telling her that her product didn't match the quota for the FDA.
What?
Yeah, she told old girl, "I beat your ass."
Huh?
Yeah, old girl told her, she put out a skincare product. A lady reviewed it, and she cussed her out.
You can't cuss nobody out for no review.
Yeah, told her she'll beat her ass. I wish I had bought that damn skin product. I could have put in a cold ass lawsuit.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
They
There you
think
go.
that shit. They think that shit with Darlene April was something. Boy, please. I'd have been like, my skin turned yellow, green, purple, pink.
Wow.
And whenever you putting stuff on your skin or in your body, it comes with all kind of discrepancies from the federal government.
So she actually told somebody that she will beat their ass because they gave a review.
Yeah, go look on Melissa's Conspiracy.
Man, whoever Melissa's Conspiracy is everywhere, bro.
Man, Melissa's Conspiracy got a nice little amount of time on their hands.
Man, that whoever that is everywhere.
They probably is a lawyer and don't want to, give up that they a lawyer, so they just never show their face.
No. And Melissa's Conspiracy worked. I seen that before. So I don't think it's a lawyer.
Let's listen to this nigga Larry.
You know what I mean? And I done talked to that nigga too. I done talked to him a gang of fucking times before we caught a case. On some gangster shit like, look, nigga, I'ma send you 150. Clear up your shit. Send the girls home. You know what I mean? Me and this nigga used to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Me and Angelo drinking. We call that nigga up. Like, man, look, we'll come up there first thing in the morning. We catch a red eye. We'll be there.
Hold on.
We'll be there in the morning. Let the girls go. We pay in studios. Oh, no. The nigga wouldn't do it. Told us trust the process. Ain't nobody call no fucking feds. No feds was calling Angelo phone 10 times a day. He would answer. You know, Angelo was out here in Vegas. One day he answered that motherfucker. Shit, one day, R. Kelly said some slick shit to him like, nigga, your daughter love me. And then kissed her and told that nigga trust the process. That nigga answered that goddamn phone. This shit went in overdrive. Yeah, look, nigga, look. Look at this. Nigga, at the time, I don't got no case. And this nigga, we dealing with each other and the fucking feds come. So, he know all this shit. He know all of the players and everybody, all the managers and shit. Man, I don't know nothing about all this shit. He gives them the information, but he sends the information from my house. So for a month.
Wow.
They go on to talk about the phones and all that shit. All the shit that they talking about in that indictment, he said all that shit to me that day.
Oh, you need to send me that.
Send me that indictment so I can read it. I'm gonna send you this.
What, you want both or one?
One hurts your head enough. You don't need both of this. Too much of that shit in your mind is poison. I just hope that Kel's holding his head, and regardless of him being a celebrity and all that shit, man, I just think that the way that they treating a person as a human being ain't right.
That's facts.
And if the nigga was so fucking guilty, you wouldn't have to do all this fool shit and to have a motherfucker locked up. And all these allegations and all this other stuff, man. I'm so tired of hearing McDonald's is a place for young people. I never hung out at no goddamn McDonald's.
I hate McDonald's.
Yeah, man, that shit is disgusting.
I went there yesterday to get some nuggets and to get a motherfucking slushy.
I ate a Big Mac like 4 weeks ago. I swear that shit fucked my whole stomach up.
That's what it's gonna do to you because you eating kangaroo meat.
Soybean. That's what I think that shit is. Soybean.
Nah, it ain't soy at all. That's kangaroo meat. Your motherfucker is gonna be like 1, 2, moo, 3.
I don't know why Kel's wanting to eat at McDonald's. I like Checkers. I ain't gonna lie.
But that's because his mama introduced him to it. That's where it comes from. His mama introduced him to it. Check your email.
All right. I can't fuck with the McDonald's though. I just can't do it.
Man, this is crazy. Well, Kimberly, if Larry got people to lie, he in trouble now.
We got people to lie. We got the stories.
Atlas, what's up?
What up? What up? What up?
What's going on?
Beautiful day in the neighborhood, bro.
Is it?
Wonderful day for a
Atlas,
neighbor.
let me find out you one of them John Does.
Would you be mine? You know I ain't nowhere close to one of them John Does. Look, man, look, I know that what came out is not, pleasing to the eyes. I get that. But one thing you gotta admit, and Dana, I ain't seen you read this yet. I don't know if maybe you did. I didn't see it. And I don't know if you did either, Debo, but that discovery, man, all the talk, all the speculation, all of the innuendos and all that kind of stuff, all that goes out the window when you see what is actually going to be presented as evidence in that courtroom.
I read it, but I read it 2 days straight.
Everybody that get a felony get indicted. Everybody that get in felony don't get found guilty. So just because it's some paperwork, they all read the same way, but everybody don't get found guilty. The state will say they got all kind of shit. Then you go to trial and still win.
But I say this,
Yes, sir.
But I say this: if you want to have a debate, set it up.
Here's the thing: ain't too much really to debate, bro. You see
Yes,
that news story came out today. I'm gonna say alleged of him now with another little boy.
Say what?
The boy, the 17-year-old friend. Now it's another little boy that they saying that he allegedly tried to sexually assault.
Let me ask you a question, Atmos.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't got shit and you got to make something sound good just so it'll stick, right?
Yeah, let me ask you a question. If somebody told you that they had your phone records and they could pinpoint exactly what websites you went to, what content you was looking at from your phone, how you gonna get out of that, bro?
What I
Okay.
want to know is the same phone was being used and held by a government informant. So that phone tainted.
Well, they got
Cause
a lot of different. Let's take that phone away.
okay.
They have, man, it's just so much, man. And I understand y'all don't want to read everything. I get that.
I'm gonna read it.
I got tired yesterday reading. Okay.
Oh no,
It's
I
some
ain't.
rough stuff, man. Some of y'all,
It's matter of fact, it's very
some
rough.
of them counters.
Very rough. It's very rough.
It is. I know it is. I know it is. And
But that
some of
don't
your
mean it's true.
counterparts, I know that you.
Man, every indictment that come out is going to be rough. It's going to be written like the person guilty, and everybody that's charged with a felony is not found guilty.
Right.
Okay.
But what you
Hey, at
saying?
the end of the day, he gonna have his day in court, right? Well,
I'm
all
gonna
I'm
be there.
saying is, what really, and usually I used to just, Larry read the indictment, I just kind of chill back, filter it. But when I really took the time to kind of really look, and really read, and
You
look at
ever been
everything,
indicted,
man, there's
Adams?
no way.
You ever
Have
been
I ever been
indicted?
indicted? No, I ain't never been indicted.
Right. So take it from me. I done been indicted. They said I did at least about 5 things I really didn't do, and one thing I did do.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Debo. Just
But
be
the way
real
they
with me.
wrote it up, I had to ask
How,
myself, did I do that shit?
I get you. But here's my question. How many things do they have to convict you on for you to be found guilty? Just one.
Right.
One.
Now,
There's so many
but
things
but
against
but
it. Just
the
one.
only thing I can see Kels getting
There's
found
people
guilty
on your
on,
side.
the only thing I can see Kels getting
There's
found
people
guilty
on your
on,
side that say that. Okay, go ahead.
the only thing I can see Kels getting found guilty on is maybe wire fraud,
How?
because them transactions that was made through Daryl McDavid still will be on him because you're responsible for your household if you hired him.
Oh, you heard what Prima Donna? You see what Prima Donna
Hmm.
said? Prima Donna just said when we speak on phone records, let's not forget people had phones, houses, bank accounts, etc. in his name. Just saying. That's facts. Hey, Prima.
I ain't trying to go against no prima. I
And
ain't
and
going
I
against no
still,
prima donna.
I
Crazy.
just want to know, why is the government asking the judge to not hold the parents accountable?
I read that. So I heard the other side, y'all counterparts over there saying that the government is saying that I guess Jane Doe number five should be able to speak and not be cross-examined. Is that what y'all? Is that the way y'all read it too?
No,
That's the
they
way. Yeah, yeah. That's
the
the way we
part
read it.
I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but the part that I heard somebody else reading, it says we're asking that parents of the Jane Does not be questioned on cross examined as far as accountability.
Mm. They're over here. See that? I need to get more clarification on that because I mean I don't know. I don't know if
Let
that's
me just
even
answer you
legally
this, right?
possible to do
If
that.
if let's just say
Yeah.
hypothetically, Angelo did sell his daughter, right? Do you think that should be brought out in court?
I think everything should be brought out in court.
Me
Nothing is
too.
off limits.
Me too. Because I feel like if Kale's got to go to jail and this shit true, then everybody involved should go to jail.
Right. I don't think nothing should be off limits. I think this is the time where you throw all your eggs in the basket and see what kind of chicken hatch. That's what I say.
This,
Now,
I won't want to
now,
be a parent up there.
well, I got a question though. Debo, he must have blanked out. Atmos, Atmos. Okay, Debo there. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so my whole thing is this right here. How can you say that Azriel traveled the world off of R. Kelly dime when Angelo said on multiple occasions that he paid for Azriel to go to different places? How y'all gonna try to hold R. Kelly as trafficking females when there's a note from her parents saying that she can go, and not
Right.
even with, but in matter of fact, and not even with R. Kelly.
Why is
Maybe,
why Valerie Payton ain't being charged with sex trafficking in minor? Why? Well, I see Cheryl Mack can possibly get some immunity or whatever for booking hotel rooms and flight tickets or whatever. But let's just say, for instance, she booked all this stuff and did all this stuff, and this man didn't even have a clue.
my my question is, if R. Kelly is such a bad person, Why is Cheryl Mack the only one saying that he threatened her life, but ain't nobody else saying it?
Yeah, Lisa Van Allen didn't even say that.
Oh no, she an indictment is Jane Doe number 20.
Yeah, but she didn't say R. Kelly threatened her though.
Mm-mm.
And the crazy thing is, not one of these women ever told the story doing surviving R. Kelly that he choked me, he slapped me up. Kitty Jones did, but none of them really did say none of that shit.
That part, Queen Christie. Here's what nobody's looking at. Why is Illinois stuff and the New York indictment? That's jurisdictional.
They knew they didn't have no win in Chicago. They know that shit.
You can't cross jurisdictions like that, Debo. They're gonna throw that out.
I believe a lot of shit, right? I haven't seen the defense file not one motion to suppress.
Robert Keller, what up, bro? Anybody that get on the stand is subject to cross-examination. Prosecution don't want the parents on the stand at all.
Right. Because the
Damn.
jury, you got to think, man, a lot of white people.
Hey, Robert, send me that, yo, because I ain't seen nothing about that.
Yeah, I seen that. A lot of white people, though, believe it or not, they don't know who R. Kelly is. And a lot that do know him, all they know is I believe I can fly.
Right. So Gemini Don said that Inner City Press and John Seidel, I think that's his name, are the only ones that's really reporting truth about the motions and stuff. Wow.
So by them white people not knowing who R. Kelly is like that, if you bring in these type of accusations and you bring the parent in, it's gonna make the whole world, as far as black people, look bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah. I think the parent should be held accountable. If we're gonna hold accountability, everybody need to be held accountable.
And if the judge is gonna say that the parents shouldn't be cross-examined and etc., then I want to see some of them white people from the trailer park that sell their kids released on the same technicality.
Not just that, but let's go here. I don't know how animated the defense team is, but I would actually be performing sexual situations to show the jurors that, okay, in my bedroom sex is undefiled. So therefore, if I like smacking somebody's booty while I'm hitting it, what's wrong with that? That's not a beating. That's called pleasure.
If somebody say that they ate their own feces, what are their mental state when they're testifying against somebody in a life or death situation?
That part.
You know, I don't think you should even be able to get on the stand unless we can verify your mental capacity.
That's why they got mad at Leavenweather when he said, I need to see these people's psychological eval. And the same lady that quit said, we don't think that we should be responsible for that because at the moment, and we don't have it, and that's on the defense. The judge said, no, that's on y'all. Y'all don't.
I was there.
Yeah, you was there that day.
Yeah, I was there. She said R. Kelly should hire his own investigator and this,
Yep.
this. We shouldn't have to do that for him.
Yep.
The judge like, it don't work like that. I'm gonna email you these recordings. I'm gonna jump off here, man, and listen.
All right, cool. Let's get ready to wire up for the night, bro.
Indeed.
All right. So, Atmos. I know you're supposed to be in here somewhere. Atmos, unmute your device. They said Lisa Van Allen is more faster than a Dodge Viper. God damn. So, let's go here, y'all. And we're going to bring it on home. This is the letter between Kanik. This is the response. Dear United States versus Robert Kelly. Dear Judge Donnelly, the defense respectfully submits this letter brief in opposition with the government's motion in limine, which requests that the court, one, permit the victim witnesses to testify using a pseudonym of their first names only, limit references to each of the victim witnesses, and open court to their pseudonyms or first names only. And three, prevent public disclosure via cross-examination or otherwise of a victim witness, respective addresses, names of family members, or exact place of employment, if any. Motion ECF docket number 121. For the reasons set forth more fully below, the defense consents to Jane Doe's 2 and 3 being referred to by their first name and strenuous objects to the government's application regarding Jane Doe number 5. Response to government motion in limine, Jane Doe number 5, identity. The identity of Jane Doe number 5 is necessary for the in and out of court investigation. The Supreme Court has long recognized a defendant's right to confront government witnesses with questions regarding identifying information, such as their true names, addresses, and employers. In Smith versus Illinois, the prosecution witness testified under a false name, and the defense was prevented from eliciting the true name and address on the cross-examination. The Supreme Court overturned a conviction on the ground that the name and address of a witness are necessary for a defendant's in and out of court investigation. In this case, the disclosure at a public trial of the identity of the witnesses against Mr. Kelly is essential for a thorough investigation of the witnesses. Accordingly, defense counsel should be permitted to inquire into the witnesses' true identities during cross-examination. See Alford versus United States. Okay. That's all that case law still there. The identity of Jane Doe number 5 is essential as it directly bears on the witness credibility, bias, and prejudice. Okay. Hold on. I'll get your comments in a few. Additionally, the identifying information of Jane Doe number 5 must be presented to the jury as the evidence bears on the witness credibility. And Alfred, the Supreme Court reversed a defendant's conviction because inter alia. The district court and impermissibly prevented defense counsel from obtaining the addresses of a prosecution witnesses. Information the Supreme Court held went directly to the witnesses' credibility, bias, and prejudice, and it got the case law. As in Alfred in the instant matter, Jane Doe number 5's identity goes to the heart of her credibility. Specifically, as the government mentioned in its motion, Jane Doe number 5 has spoken publicly about some of her experiences with Mr. Kelly. Government motion ECF document number 121, page 11. In fact, Jane Doe number 5 has already revealed her identity to the public through press and by discussing her relationship with Mr. Kelly. The defense submits that Jane Doe number 5 has conducted numerous interviews regarding Mr. Kelly and has participated in several documentaries which were made available for public distribution. For example, in late 2020, Jane Doe number 5 conducted an interview with a Fox station in which she discussed Mr. Kelly. At the present time, there are 10 or more videos available on YouTube of Jane Doe number 5 discussing Mr. Kelly. There are also several videos available on the internet of Jane Doe number 5 appearing by herself or with her father in which Mr. Kelly is discussed. The parents of Jane Doe number 5 have also conducted various media interviews, including an interview in 2019 with CBS This Morning. In addition, Jane Doe number 5 has conducted several Instagram live sessions in which she discusses Mr. Kelly. Some of those Instagram live sessions have been recorded and appear on YouTube or are readily or are readily accessible on the internet. Therefore, the need to keep her identity has been directly undermined by her own actions. Further, the fact that Jane Doe number 5 has spoken out publicly and in fact published a book about her experiences with Mr. Kelly. Whoa. Bears directly on her credibility as a witness, enabling defense counsel to elicit her identity and this information regarding her public announcements, which vary from her in court testimony, will provide information that is relevant to the jury's deliberations as to her credibility and is essential to the defense. Permitting victim witness to testify under pseudonyms and permissible undermines the presumption of innocence. The government also seeks an order permitting the victim witnesses to testify under pseudonyms. However, if the government's witnesses are permitted to conceal their true names, then the court will be sending a clear message to the jury that this case requires special protective measures for government witnesses. The average juror who has seen any amount of television or movies or previously has been on a jury will know that it is unusual for a witness identity to be concealed. The jury likely will infer that the court has implemented these extra precautions because the women testifying are uniquely vulnerable, the defendant is particularly dangerous, or both. In short, anonymous witnesses will interfere with the jury's ability to provide Mr. Kelly with his presumption of innocence during the course of his trial. In this regard, government's request for anonymous witnesses is compared to a request for an anonymous jury. In such cases, because the Second Circuit has recognized that the use of an anonymous jury undermines the presumption of innocence. It has cautioned district courts that the decision to impel an anonymous jury must receive close judicial scrutiny and be evaluated in the light of reason, principle, and common sense. United States versus Thomas. The same standard should be applied here, and accordingly, the court should deny the government's request for the witness anonymity. Therefore, based on the foregoing, the defense consents to Jane Doe's 2, 3 being referred to by their first name and strongly objects to and imposes the government's protection regarding Jane Doe 5, and it should have been Jane Doe 6 too. It should have been Jane Doe 5 and Jane Doe 6. Wait a minute. Respectfully submitted, Devereaux and Scholar. Where's Nicole and Tom? Okay. So yeah, that's a hell of a joint, but he left one out. It shouldn't have just been 5. It should have been 5 and 6. So if he amends that, he can amend and put 6 in there as well. Because 6 has done the same thing. Let's knock it out. And we're going to go to the witnesses that the government got lined up so far. The medical witnesses. Let's knock it out. Are we going to do this? If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right today. I want y'all to see it. There you go. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. You got Thomas Farinella, Nicole Blank Becker, Devereaux Canick, and Calvin Scholar. All right. Dear counsel, pursuant to Rule 16A1G of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, the government hereby notifies you that it intends to call at trial and the above referenced matter, Dr. Afif Hoskins, Dr. Don Hughes, Young Fee Wu, and Veronica Jackson to testify about the matters described below. A curriculum vitae for which of these experts will be included in their Section 3500 material, which will be provided to you on Monday, July the 26th, 2021. The government reserves the right to call substitute expert witnesses. Please also consider this letter the government's request for reciprocal discovery, including notice of any anticipated defense experts. 1. Dr. Ifif Hoskins. Dr. Hoskins is a medical doctor who is board certified by inter alia, the American Board of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Okay. She currently serves as the Director of Safety and Quality of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at the New York University NYU School of Medicine and has held this position since 2013. Dr. Hoskins is also a clinical professor of obstetrics and gynecology at the NYU School of Medicine. At trial, Dr. Hoskins will testify about sexually transmitted diseases and testing, including herpes, methods of contraception, and the morning after pill, also known as Plan B. With respect to herpes, Dr. Hoskins will testify regarding what herpes is, its etiology, and how it is transmitted, the different types of disease, its symptoms and effects, both short and long term, how the disease manifests and presents itself, herpes treatments, including medications used to treat the disease, the manners in which herpes is diagnosed, instructions given to patients diagnosed with herpes in a clinical setting, and how not everyone exposed to herpes contracts the disease. Dr. Hoskins may also explain certain medical records, including those belonging to the defendant and Jane Doe number 6. But wait a minute. Ain't that a HIPAA law? Whoa. Dr. Don Hughes. In its March 17, 2020 letter providing discovery pursuant to the federal rules of criminal procedure, the government disclosed that it intended to call an expert to testify about social isolation and trauma bonding. The government now discloses that it will call Dr. Don Hughes at trial to testify about such matters, including those described below. Dr. Don Hughes has a PhD in clinical psychology and is board certified in forensic psychology. She currently has a private practice involving clinical psychology, and forensic psychology. In addition, she serves as a clinical assistant professor in psychology in the Department of Psychiatry at Weill Cornell New York Presbyterian Hospital. Dr. Hughes' curriculum vitae is attached. At trial, Dr. Hughes will testify about interpersonal violence, including physical assault and coercive control. For example, she will testify regarding A, how victims respond to interpersonal violence, including why they might remain with their abusers. B, the physiological effects of interpersonal violence. C, coping mechanisms used by victims of interpersonal violence. And D, how interpersonal violence may result in delayed reporting to law enforcement and affect memory recall. Dr. Hughes previously testified as an expert about similar matters in United States versus Keith Rainier, criminal docket number 18-204 NGG in this district, and a copy of her testimony in that matter will be included in her Section 3500 material, which will be disclosed to you on Monday, July the 26th, 2021. Last one, Young Fee Wu and Veronica Jackson. In its March 17, 2020 letter, the government also disclosed that it would call one or more experts to testify at trial about the examinations and conclusions set forth in Discovery Exhibit 118. The government now discloses that it will call Young Fei Wu and Veronica Jackson, who variously recovered DNA from a T-shirt provided by Jane Doe number 4, the T-shirt, and determined that the DNA profile from the recovered DNA matched the profile of the defendant, as described in further detail in the materials provided in Discovery Exhibit 118. So now everybody know who Jane Doe number 4 is. It's hot water. Both witnesses are employed by the Illinois State Police, the ISP, Division of Forensic Services. As the defendant is aware, the government recently obtained a DNA swab to the DNA recovered from the T-shirt. The government will provide the results of that DNA comparison as soon as the government obtains it. Given that an individual's DNA does not change over time, and that the DNA recovered from the T-shirt was previously determined to match the defendant's DNA, the government anticipates that the results of the revised analysis will be the same as those disclosed in Discovery Exhibit 118. Yours truly, Jacqueline M. Costless. Crazy. So we're going to take another break. Then we're going to come back with the last letter. And from that point, we're going to take a break for the rest of the day and come back later on and do what we do as a panel. All right? Let's go.
Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. You've been working, you've been stressing, your body's screaming out, it's been neglected. You got all these problems that you can't seem to escape. But tonight I'm breaking you out, cause you need to get away. Let's go, babe. Let's go, babe. Oh, let's go, babe. Let's go, babe. Out of this world with me, so you can see I got it. Everything you want, girl. I got it. Everything you need. I got it. You need a good loving, baby. Well, I got it. I can read that probably on girl, it's all yours. You've been worried, got a lot of tension, broken glory, and I just wanna fix it. Girl, you need some new time to get catered to, baby. Someone to relax your mind. And girl, I know just what to do for you. Let's go, babe. Oh, let's go, babe. Oh, let's go, babe. Let's go, babe. Out of this love with me, so you can see I got it. Oh, everything you want, girl. I got it. And everything you need, yeah. I got it. You in need of good loving, baby. I got it. And I want you to know that, girl, it's all yours. Wherever you wanna go, whatever you wanna do, whatever you wanna see. Girl, just put your trust in me. Your body is the question, and mine is the answer. You've been searching everywhere now. You don't have to look no further, baby. I got it. Everything you want, girl, I got it. Oh, everything you need, baby, I got it. See, that's the love is over. I got it. Cause girl, I'm here to satisfy all of your desires. I got it. Oh, when your body's screaming, I got it. Oh, baby girl, I come running to answer it. I got it. Better kill, girl, rest assured, I got it. Car keys, shop is breathing. Oh, please believe I got it. Girl, night to day, up with me, day to day. I got it. Girl, feel something, sleep on me, don't worry. I got it. VIP, drinks on me. Girl, you know I got it. Whatever it is, I got it. Whatever it is, I got it.
Hey, how you doing, Maria?
I got it. If you want it, I got it. I got it. I'm going crazy. Feels like I'm losing my mind and I don't know what to do. Seems like I'm running out of time, going crazy. Oh, in the gorgeous spring of fall, that she don't have a clue that I'm having second thoughts. I should make a quick plan, get it together, make up your mind because this type of thing is forever.
Thank you, Queen Chrissy.
The mirror speaking. What about the clubbing on weekends? What about the ladies and all your fans and the creeping? But I've been there, done that, and I'm looking for something else. Somebody to settle down with the share as well. Yeah, but once you see these clouds, you're not.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. No more hanging on the block. Yeah, I know. But the girl is down for me, and the girls truly love me. And besides that, is the real fact that ain't nothing in them streets. What about the family? I know. What about the industry? I know. TV and magazines. Shut up, 'cause I'm going crazy. Feels like I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do. Seems like I'm running out of time. I'm going crazy. In the gorgeous spring of fall, that she don't have a clue that I'm having second thoughts. Just wait a minute before you say anything else. Just think about this. 5 years down the line, y'all break up, and she could take half your shoulder. Let me interrupt. I remind you we're in love, so back it up. Oh. Easy killer. I'm just saying. I hope you got a prenup. Oh, still I wanna have my baby. If forever to be my lady. Yeah, man, but understand that's risk. Hey, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Yeah, well, I'm tired of you and everybody else all up in my business. Well, what about your mama? Even she don't want you to have this wife. My mama managed my career, player in my life. What about the family? I know. What about the industry? I know. TV and magazines. Shut up, 'cause I'm going crazy. Feels like I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do. Seems like I'm running out of time, going crazy. Oh, in the gorgeous spring of fall, that she don't have a clue that I'm having sex. It'll be on the radio station. Girl, Usher got married. Will he lose his fame? And I'll be on the radio stations saying yes, I got married, but I still love my thing. Yes, I believe they'll understand. Are you 100%? Are you sure this was meant? Is she the one for you? Is the love true? What you waiting for? I don't know. Gotta change your heart. We'll get there and tell it now. I'm going crazy. Feels like I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do. Seems like I'm running out of time. Going crazy. In the gorgeous spring of fall, and she don't have a clue that I'm having second thoughts. Feels like I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do. Seems like I'm running out of time. Going crazy. In the gorgeous spring of fall, that she don't have a clue that I'm having second thoughts.
Prima Donna on it. Hold Chicago Tribune, BuzzFeed, Washington Post, all these publications who aided these stories. Facts. Facts. Prima Donna on it. Miss Bisbee said that does not look like a person that was just hanging around. He was right there with kills. I mean, look. Miss Bisbee, I can only do what I can do, you know. Oh, when y'all see the links pop up with all these people channels, go like, share, subscribe their channels. Their content is second to none. Their content is great. Please go check them out. Hey, Truth. True Strong Warrior. Now, let's talk about this for a second. I got a question. Semen or sperm, whichever one y'all want to go with, on a t-shirt. Once sperm hit the air, it kills the sperm cells. So how can you tell who the semen belonged to if you had this shirt in the open air and didn't preserve it? And you had this shirt for 7 years and then you turn it over and they say, oh yeah, that's R. Kelly sperm. How? Can somebody help me with this? And I'm asking y'all ladies, because this is more y'all field. Us men ain't gonna look at no shit like that. But can somebody help me with that? Please, somebody help me with that. You know, if y'all want to come on, here's the link. I just need help with it because I'm not understanding it. That's my honest to God truth. I'm not understanding it. Maybe I need to go back to sex ed class, but when I last remember, once semen hit the air, it's like the sperm cells die. And the sperm cells is what hold the DNA, not the mucus sac around the sperm cells. So I'm trying to figure out how can that even be possible. Here's the link to come on. You can hit it in the chat. It's in the chat floating. You can have sperm for 50 years and it's all in the DNA. Okay, a question, Emma Marie. I'm glad you said that. But it have to be preserved. If it's not preserved, then how can you have it and for even 7 minutes? I need somebody to explain this to me. Because see, me, I'll make a phone call and I'll start getting on the phone with some doctors. See, hold on. I got it, niece. I got on the phone with some doctors. Hold on. I need to figure out something. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, you gonna want to talk. I don't want to talk like that. You gonna want to talk my head off. I don't even want to talk like that. Who can I call? So many people my numbers. Hold on, because I'm trying to get something straight for y'all. Adrian changed her number. Let's see. He said the water woke it back up.
Please leave your message for.
She probably at work. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I gotta. Right. That makes sense, Maria.
Please leave your message for.
See, all my doctors are working. See, y'all gonna make me want to look at some stuff now. Better yet, how did JP say 1 minute she turned it over when it happened, yet ended up with it again to resubmit? That part right there. Shit, I'm not going to keep a t-shirt with no sperm on it for 7 years. I don't care who it is. Facts. So Prima Donna got a good point. And so do Ann Huff. These are points. This Georgia girl page, y'all. I mean, Georgia girl said, not of me. And Maria said, it gets extracted and compared to R. Kelly. But how can you extract it if you didn't preserve it? She held it for 7 years. I mean, preserve can result from consensual sex acts. DNA doesn't prove sexual consent was forced. Facts. Yes, it can last that long. So basically, I can go nut on a shirt, right? I mean, I'm sorry. I can ejaculate on the shirt and leave it there, and it'll still be like that 7 years later. I believe it will. I believe it will evaporate in like an hour, right? I'm lost. You know what? Hold on. Hold on. And we're gonna figure this out.
Hello?
Karen,
Huh?
what, you sleep?
No. You know, I be going in and out sometimes. This is like a lazy Saturday.
I got a question.
What's that? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, wow, thank you.
You sound like you dead to the world.
Boy, it's just a lazy Saturday, that's all.
And I'm about to hop on the grill after this.
What?
Yeah. I got a question. And it's more so on a medical term. So I figured I'd call you and ask you because something ain't making sense to me. If a person is dealing with a female, right? And they ejaculate on a shirt.
On a shirt?
Right.
Who did it, the female?
Nah. If a guy did it,
okay.
right. That semen ain't gonna still be there 7 years later, is it?
It's gonna be dried out.
It's gonna evaporate, really, right? So that means
it's not gonna be moist. moisture.
Right, so that means that you can't even use that for like DNA evidence, right?
Yes, you can.
How?
It's dried out, but I think they can still use it. Because remember when now this question kind of answers itself. No, your question. Remember when Bill Clinton did the little thing, ejaculation on forgot the chick name, and they kept the evidence. It was on a dress, on her dress. She kept the dress. And
Yeah.
so I think a couple of years later they used that for evidence.
Yeah, but that was preserved though, wasn't it?
Not preserved. No. She kept it in a bag. It's still dry. You can Google that though to see if DNA can be
But 7 years, okay. So I guess they put some water on it and it woke up and say, "Oh, here we go, baby."
I don't know, but you trying to say that this person probably ejaculated again. which is true too. They probably did. Depending on who it is.
But they threw some water back on the top of some under the sea.
Was it wet or dry?
It was after 7 years on current, it was dry.
Mm-hmm. No, because I'm asking was it wet or dry because they could have had more, like did it again.
See, this is the time that we need grandma here.
Why?
Because grandma would have told it straight. Boy, shut up.
She was like that, Dana. I miss that woman.
Man, who you telling? I'm about to get ready to head down to South Carolina in a couple of days.
Oh, you're going to BC's party?
Yeah. Can we having one together? It's going to be both of us together.
Yeah, I know. Oh, y'all got birthdays, I think, right?
Yeah. Everybody's 6 days apart. It's the attack of the Leos.
Whatever, Leo Nation.
What is your Sag, right?
No, Aquarius.
Oh, ooh.
No, that's a good thing, baby.
Y'all crazy.
No, that's a good thing. I ain't never been accused of being, well, yes I have, but I'm just saying, that's a good thing. But they are accused of being crazy too. People are crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
People are crazy.
But I'll be home next week too, so I need to see you when I come home.
Where you going?
You know, I gotta check with my mama.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right. That's good.
Yeah, but give me like an hour. I'm gonna call you back.
All right.
All right. Man, so that's a good question. That's a question that we're gonna have to come back and revisit. Because Skyzone said sperm cannot last once it's dried. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Say no, let's go ahead and get on this joint, man. Let's go ahead and close this joint out. All right, let's go. Let's close it on out. Monica Lewinsky, just nasty. Yeah. Hot one. Ugh. She was sick to keep that over there. Ugh. Just nasty. Man. Hold on. And Maria said no, she kept dress in closet and told someone, but she did get the dress and Clinton's sperm was on it. Huh? They use a cotton swab. They use a cotton swab with a special chemical on it to get samples and then send it to a forensics lab for DNA analysis. I love forensics. Hey, Brooke. Hold on. All right. This Brooke first time on this page, y'all. Let's give Brooke a howdy welcome. Let's put them white hearts up for Brooke. Hello. 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 Let's get them white hearts up for Brooke. But it's her first time over here. Yo, I'm lost about all this. The jury's going to think she is crazy for that. Hell yeah. He act like he doesn't like kills. Who? Who? Who talking, Nene? Forensics is really interesting. Yeah, it is. But let's get them white hearts up for Brooke. This is her first time over here. Let's give her a hearty welcome. Can I explain what happened to the shirt lady? Well, she lied on Robert. She gave him head. She gave him fellatio. Say that. Then she act like he forced her to do it. And then I guess it was some semen of his on her shirt. She held that shirt for 7 years and then turned it over. And then they trying to say that it's his semen on there. I don't know. It's just nasty. Brooke said, hello, my family. Hey. You know what? Yeah, we all can do that. Hey, Maria, but that's a good idea. We can research it. I'm going to do more than Google. I'm going to take it deeper. I'm going to really research this because I want to know now. This got my whole experience like intrigued because I want to know. Because I'm learning stuff that I never knew about. And I thought I was the sex doctor. But now I see I'm not. No one gonna believe her hair braider full of Leanne, hey. So I know need to incorporate my. No, do not steal my white heart, Brooke. That's what we do for the people who the first time over here and they come over here and we drop white hearts. Don't steal my white heart. Hey, A.L. Sterling, J Rock. Remember, Lenny Carter was brought on by CBS to do an interview right after CBS interviewed Michael Avenatti on his extortion. Exactly. You got it. I'm sorry. I don't care how freaky another person is, and because I'm very freaky, I'm very sexual. But I'm not saving no shirt that I ejaculated on or that any woman has ejaculated on. That's going in the goddamn wash machine. I don't want to save your nut. What am I? I'm not the nut detective. I am not the nut detective. LC Cooper. But actually both of them did it. LC and JP. I am not saving no nut. I'm not the nut detective. But I'm gonna say, girl, nut right here. I'm gonna say this 7 years just in case you do something to me. What the hell I look like? That's a creep. That's a creep. But let's go ahead and knock this out. Davis Wright Tremaine LLP. Honorable Ann Donnelly, Eastern District, 225 Cannon Plaza East, courtroom 4GN, Brooklyn, New York, 11201. Reason: United States of America versus Robert Spencer Kelly, 19 CR 286 EDNY. Dear Judge Donnelly, excuse me. We represent the American Broadcasting Companies, Inc., the Associated Press, BuzzFeed News, CBS Broadcasting, Inc., on behalf of CBS News and WCBS-TV, Cable News Network, The Daily Beast, Dow Jones and Company, publisher of the Wall Street Journal, NBC Universal, the New York Times Company, NYP Holdings, Inc., publisher of the New York Post, Vox Media, LLC, and the Washington Post, collectively press organizations. Journalists who work at these organizations understand that the court intends to limit access by the press and public to the sex trafficking trial of the musician Robert Sylvester Kelly, professionally known as R. Kelly, to 2 overflow rooms. We write to request that the court, in recognition of critical First Amendment rights and the widespread public interest in the trial, reconsider its closure of the courtroom and permit a pool of 6 reporters to attend the trial in person in the actual courtroom. As Your Honor is well aware, this is a trial of great importance. It follows decades of serious accusations and sexual abuse of young women, including minors, by a prominent American musician. Over the years, these allegations have been the subject of numerous press reports. Page 2. Including from the press organizations as well as other lawsuits and prosecutions. At the same time, the media and public have been critiqued for ignoring or making light of the stories of R. Kelly's alleged victims, which some claim is due not only to the musician's stature, but to the fact that his alleged victims are black women and girls. Simply put, this is a trial of unique public importance, one at the nexus of critical issues of race, gender, and sexual violence, where media coverage is imperative. To provide adequate coverage here, at least a limited pool of reporters should be allowed into the courtroom itself to see the reactions of the defendant and the jurors to the witnesses, to see the evidence, to hear statements that may not be picked up on a microphone, and to be fully present for the trial. This court, no doubt, knows that the press and the public have a presumptive First Amendment right of access to criminal trials. Then they have the case law and all that, blah, 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 all these case law. Page 3, case law here. While the press organizations understand that this court will allow public access to the trial through 2 overflow rooms, the experience of the organization's journalists have shown that an overflow room is not an adequate substitute for the First Amendment right of access to the courtroom itself. Prior high-profile criminal trials in the Eastern District of New York that have utilized overflow rooms for reporters have resulted in members of the press being unable to see or hear major components of the trial, including being able to see the defendant, witnesses, jurors, or properly hear attorneys and witnesses due to microphone issues. Indeed, in 2 recent high-profile trials in the Eastern District of New York, the 2019 NXIVM trial and the 2018 to 2019 trial of El Chapo. Whoa. Reporters in the overflow room missed the prosecutor's opening statement because either the prosecutor's microphone was turned off or because the technology was simply not functioning. Such technical difficulties in this case could create a constructive closure of the courtroom to the public and press, which could then even result in a violation of the defendant's rights to a public trial. Even without these difficulties, overflow room monitors can only show a narrow view of the courtroom because they use fixed single-angle cameras. As such, key components like the defendant, the judge, or the faces of witnesses are often hidden, and jurors are almost always excluded from view. Thus, while overflow rooms are often a necessary complement to the right of access to the actual courtroom, they are not an adequate substitute here. We are mindful of the difficulties created by the COVID-19 pandemic and respect this court's efforts to balance the safety of the parties and court staff with the First Amendment right of access. We respectfully believe, however, that it is possible to take COVID-19 safety precautions into account without fully excluding the press and public from the courtroom, particularly because COVID-19 transmission rates in New York City are low and vaccination rates are high. Indeed, currently, the courtroom after courtroom is becoming available to the public. There is no reason that such an important and high-profile case should not follow this trend. The proposed pool of 6 would still allow for social distancing and masking in the courtroom. We therefore respectfully request that this court reconsider its order limiting press access to this trial, and in recognition of First Amendment right of access, permit a limited pool of reporters to attend this important trial in person. Respectfully, Rachel F. Strong. So, I don't know what Ann Donnelly is thinking, but I got a feeling that Ann Donnelly don't want no backlash in her courtroom. So we got our homework to do. Brooke says, so the only way that sperm can be identified is if it was stored properly. And Maria said, yes and no, Brooke. The person would have to have properly stored it like in a plastic bag or so. If not, it's not going to give an accurate reading. Oh. Sperm also have to be in a moist and warm place to live. Once it dries on the shirt, the sperm cells die. The stain will be there. Wow. I just read about a body of a young kid, 15. He was raped, fluid thrown on him, and burned. He was re-examined and they found sperm in his stomach after being burned. But that's because it was preserved by the organs. Queen Brooke, once it get into room temperature, it will die within the hour. Press do not need to be in there. Those liars. How boss lady, MC Outlaw. Yep. 3.5 weeks left. Let's do it. Right, Georgia girl. The press don't need to be there. They are requesting to be there. Hey, L. Sterling. They all had agenda groups. Facts. So look, we've been on here for a while. How long we've been on here? I do not know. But look, we've been on here for a while. Hey, can I get 18 likes? If I can get 18 more likes, I'm good. I got 24 dislikes. I need 18 more likes to reach 100. So before I go, I'm going to lay out another R. Kelly song for y'all. I'm going to lay out 2 songs. Here we go.
Listen, I don't even want to sing this song.
Wait, Kels. Look, for all of y'all that been rocking with me this long and never changed and never wavered, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't know how much that means. Y'all heard the Boski even say, look, he had to pray about some things. Just imagine how many times I had to pray. How many times that I wanted to walk away? I thank all of y'all for being there with me. All right. I just wanted to tell y'all that from the bottom of my heart. Peace.
Matter of fact, I'm just gonna talk through this. But I'm gonna talk on notes. But what I'm gonna be saying is the realest. Listen. First, I pop open a can of Red Bull. Then I mix it with some beer and pour it all over you. Once I get your body tweaking, girl, drop to my
I appreciate y'all too.
Then I'll proceed on this mission to drive you wild. Take out all the candles, using hot towels. I can feel you scratching my back while I'm on top. Damn girl, said you know the sex is good when you're making those faces. You know the sex is good when you're going all baby. And you know the sex is good when your body's having fits. Toes curling, screaming out, son of a bitch. Said you know the sex is good when you're coming for the fourth time. You know the sex is good when you can't get it off your mind. You know the sex is good when you tell your best friend. The room was steaming, I was screaming, son of a bitch. Now 2 hours later, we're still going at it. Girl, from the basement all the way to the attic. Tease you up until you tell me, girl, I wanna grab it. And that's when I'm gonna bend you over, girl, and let you have it. Said you know the sex is good. Said you know the sex is good. Said you know the sex is good when you're going out, baby. And you know the sex is good when your body's having fun. Toes curling, screaming out, son of a bitch. Said you know the sex is good when you're coming for the fourth time. The sex is good when you can't get it off your mind. You know the sex is good when
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
friend. The room was steaming, I was screaming, son of a bitch.
last song and I'm out of here.
January boy, remix money. Hail Mary, full of grace. Hail Mary, full of grace. Hail Mary, full of grace. I swear that's what she said. Shawty looking at me, she's a flirt. All night creeper, let her know I put in work, but it's something I gotta teach her. Bust it open, bring it back. I'll be ready to attack. Got an automatic weapon, it go plat. She's a wifey in the street, sweet like a gun. Key in her admission, now she rolling with a gun. She know that I keep her strong. Hey, you know where I'm from. It's that Chi-Town boy, and I got these honeys speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues.
I hear you, Morel.
Like ludicrous. Don't nobody give it to me like you do. I cast a spell on them. They be think I'm doing voodoo. Can't understand the words you saying. Oh, you need a translator. I aim before I shoot, then I assassinate her. She be catching that Holy Ghost. She had a loss for words. Said she really wanna wet the fabric, so I'm a softened nerd. Was a good girl when I met her, and she was so pure. Now I got her in the back room talking about Hanam Harenge cure. That's what you get when you're messing with the boys in the hood that's from the South. We be like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? She got just what she wanted, and she know I'm her. I guess that's why it seems.
I got this honey speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues. I got them all speaking. She was 6 days a week. Get off on a Sunday. Come over late at night and then I eat it.
Thank you, Georgia girl. Thank you,
She know
Missy.
that I'm a heavyweight, more money than collection play. She tired and she's sliding on me like a tidal wave. I mean, Shawty so fine, you need to pray for her. She yelling, but I don't know what she's saying to me. She's speaking languages that I ain't never heard. Call her Dirty Diana, man, the way she make it jerk. She know that I keep her strong. Hey, you know where I'm from. It's the Chi-Town boy, and I got these honeys speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues. I got them all speaking in. Shawty, what you say?
I'm gonna say this real quick before I go. I just got sent something, right? And I want to be right. But CBS Local News Chicago, everybody that's out there in Chicago need to be stepping in front of CBS Local News. They are running with the allegations, saying that Robert victimized young boys. See, this is what I mean. They will keep all the negative in your face and the fake allegations, whether it's truth or not, but they won't put the truth in your face. That's all I had to say. Y'all know? Let's finish. I'm out.
Shawty, what you say? Shawty, what you say? Shawty, what you say? I got these honeys speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues. What you gonna do now? Hope you better, guess I feel it about to